This should help. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to all you beautiful people coming to share a little time with us talking about synths, guitars, and everything in between in this, which I hope you will understand is your home. Mi casa es su casa. Six oscillators where guitars and synthesizers collide. We're back. One more month, one more episodes in this odyssey of me trying to get the gear ready for my gig, and in the process showing all of you who come to watch what does it actually take to become a syntherist, a syntherist, at least on the Roland world, because what we've been touching upon these last episodes, including the exceptional ones, the ones I did off schedule, schedule. Okay, I never got that word right. Were all about me needing to have it on a specific time frame. So I could start practicing and stuff, and it's based on the technology I'm already invested on. That doesn't mean it's the only one. That doesn't mean it's not even the best one, because since it's not the only one, all the technologies have different strong points, but also have different weak points. So if we put all the technologies available together, we actually get something really, really impressive. On their own, each one of them, it's meh. Oh, interesting, but not really. Give me just a second, because I wanted to okay. All right. So, just trying to keep up with the comments, which I never do. We got I can't recognize your icon, but potato working, yeah, potato's working sometimes. Welcome to all of you, Keith and Walford, obviously my beloved co-host, which I would like to be able to call friends, and this new to me, at least this avatar, Awkward Teeth and Hair Productions. Bang on, mate. Really, really nice, good. And every other one coming here. Talking about co-hosts, let's just bring them in and not delay. Let's start in order of... Let's go alphabetical, come on. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Guitar Fool. Hello, hello. How you doing?
Good, good.
Are you ready for another synthtar adventure? You got the drinks? And, a sneak peek. Just because it's a very big green spot, I can see a guitar case. Is that your Spanish one?
That's the guitar synth.
Sorry, is that the guitar synth you bought?
Built, made.
That's what I meant. The Spanish shape guitar,
yeah.
Right? The hollow body nylon string.
Yeah.
Cool. In few words, how is your month been? What's new in the synth then?
Nothing much. Projects. I've got this little thing. It's a raspberry screen. And
how do you wait? How long? I keep forgetting to do that. Audio double. This should have fixed it, but I'm also it's getting to me a little glitchy, as in cutting off. Can you try to say another sentence, please?
Yeah. Oh, that's better. Can you hear me?
My bad. Sorry. Once again, Tech and me, we don't match. No. We don't live in the same universe. Sorry, my bad. So you were saying that you got this?
Yeah, this is basically a Raspberry Pi with a touch screen.
Uh-huh.
and it will fit. I can make a panel for it for your rack case. And
Wow.
what I'm working on is basically an interface
Mm-hmm.
uh, for either the Axon or the Roland.
Mm.
And all you will feed it is just one string per MIDI channel. That's it. You don't need
Mm-hmm.
anything else. And then that you program to how you route the different regions of the fingerboard, where you want it to go. You know, you can save them as save all these patches like that, and then you can have certain notes on the fingerboard that you're not using that you can use to
Mm-hmm.
change patches and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The software is very very simple. Very, I can crank it out in a day. The hard
Mm.
part is the graphical interface because I don't
Mm-hmm.
want it to be like the Roland or the Axon where you've got it just. I want it to be graphical. You can just go in there with a mouse and say, okay,
Mm-hmm.
these notes go here, these
Mm-hmm.
notes go here, and
Uh-huh. Yes. Okay. Let me see if I'm getting this right. You're planning on getting your hexaphonic six
Mhm.
divisions divided pickup into that module, which
Yes.
is gonna be able to take each individual pickup and assign it to a different. Are you gonna bother making that into MIDI, or are you just gonna take the
Oh,
signal and make it CV
it'll,
right away?
it'll be MIDI out. It's MIDI in, MIDI out, but it will take. You can specify, okay, up to the fourth fret on the sixth string, I want the
Uh-huh.
MIDI channel seven,
Yeah.
and,
I've, but
and
my point is, I, I'm feeling stupid saying this. You do realize GK3 or any of the variants does not send MIDI down, only sends voltage. You know that, right?
oh, the pickup. I'm talking
Huh?
about. You can take your GR30 or
Yeah,
GR55 or your
yeah.
Axon AX100, the
Uh-huh.
MIDI out from that.
Ah, so you still
As
are gonna
long as
put
you
another
have,
device.
as long as you have it set up for, one MIDI channel per string, which is
Mm-hmm.
usually 1 through 6, and they all
Yep.
do that. They all, so
Mm-hmm.
you'll still need your
Yep.
GR55 or GR30 or your AX100. The MIDI out from that goes into this.
Ah,
And you don't need
that's
to
what I was.
you don't need to patch like in the Axon. You can do spring splits and fret
Yeah, yeah.
splits, and
So basically,
horrible.
yeah, but that's what I was getting confused about is because I thought you would get the 13 pin cable
No,
into that interface, the voltage, and it would automatically get those the division of signals and make it CV to control your rack. That would be a very nice trick, and I believe it's a market for that if
yeah,
you make it happen.
it would basically wipe out all the others. But
Yeah. Well,
I'm too old to get into that.
okay. So you still are gonna be using some sort of voltage to MIDI converter of some sorts, and you're gonna feed the divided MIDI into that interface that at its will do the mapping and the CV conversion from
Yeah,
MIDI.
yeah.
Awesome.
It can also
Please.
do transposing and all that other. And it's really easy. It's just the
Mm-hmm.
programming interface is where all the
Mm-hmm.
code is.
Yeah.
After that, what it builds for the patch is just a big lookup table. This
Mm-hmm.
note on this MIDI channel
Mm-hmm.
goes here,
Yeah.
and you would just basically have in memory just a map of every output, every input, and what the output's going to be, and you just do it, and it would be blindingly. I mean, you're talking a microsecond delay.
Yeah, and that's the magical power of MIDI, the remapping of notes, remapping of velocities, remapping of frets, or like the accent. If you use the accent as the interface, it can also detect
Yeah,
the plectrum position, as in the timbre of the actual note, as in the
somewhat.
same fretted note, depending where you plug it, makes a completely different profile of harmonics. And accent, I think accent and triple play can detect that.
Yeah,
And I'm intuitively, I believe 55 also can do it. They just chose to do very little with it, and never to give you the choice to use it as a tool. As in, it's not really available for you to tweak or to do it or to set up in your patch like I'm gonna try to show tonight. But because, well, let's not get ahead. Thank you very much. Please keep us updated. I am very interested about that project, and if I'm interested, anybody who comes to this channel is interested. Trust me. Let's please give the welcome because we started with a G, Guitar Full, Mr. either Paul P or Uncle Chrome, you, alphabetically, Mr. Uncle Chrome. Sorry to make you wait and to bore you with a little technicalities and technologies.
Hey,
how you doing?
Just waiting backstage here with Mr. Beck.
Mr. what?
You didn't see the chat, huh? Never mind.
Oh, sorry. I'm a man. I'm an old man, and I'm a very simple man. I can chew and walk at the same time. So let alone handle this and this going again 500 miles an hour. No, sorry, that's not me. So anybody on the chat, please don't take it. If you try to address me, I think you be better trying to address my co-hosts. They might have a better chance to read whatever you put and tell me about it.
Well,
otherwise,
you forgot to introduce Ava.
Ava? Oh my God.
Is she gone now?
She got bored.
She got bored. Okay.
Oh, you have a doggy called Ava?
Yeah.
I love doggies.
I don't know where she
I have cats, mostly because my housemate and because I thought, how can it be living with cats? Never again.
Oh.
Never again. Dogs are way better.
No comment.
Really. Dogs are worth. Cats, no. Plus,
Ava is probably worse than most cats.
okay, we won't hold it against her. Is he a puppy or is?
No, she's 4.5 years old, but she's hyperactive, ADHD, and otherwise just crazy.
Okay, hyperactive in a dog. Interesting concept. Like they're not like that, just as natural. Great. Cool. So, did you hear that project that Mr. Full is, Mr. GF or Guitar Full is doing? You might be interested on that one.
Well, I wonder if this is spurred by conversations we had about the Matrix 1000 and its guitar mode.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was the fact that it's a sixth voice, and it's like, but nowhere in any documentation is there any mention that it was intended for a guitar.
Uh-huh.
But why six?
Yeah.
You know, the Matrix 6.
Remember?
I'm hoping that maybe that was the case.
Can you tell me what year was the Matrix 6 release?
88.
Then it's too late to be trying to compete against the Prophet 5. Because remember that the whole 80s was the race. Well, 70. I assume it's around 75-ish to 84-ish. So I mean, until the advent of the DX7, it was the arm race to get the highest polyphony for the cheapest price. Hence the Prophet 5 basically flattening the plane for everybody, like, oh, you want polyphony and sounding nice and programs and Prophet 5, everybody like that. Because on the other hand, you had to put mortgage and a half for an 8 voice. I assume very few people could afford more than a 4 voice, so the Prophet 5 was one better. I'm just riffing because obviously I wasn't there, but let me know you were there. How did that film, that story develop actually in real time?
Well, they had
no. Okay.
It went up to 8 voices, right? You had the Jupiter 8 in the industry, and
And
higher
never
voices.
forget the CS80. Yes, CS80 got
But
the flag on the top of the hill for 8 voices, but I assume like the Fairlight, the price was basically are you shitting me basically
but when
level
MIDI
of
came
price.
along, you had the ability to do multi-timbral, right? And
Did
first off,
you?
the general. Oh yeah, the general MIDI was designed to be exactly that. So you'd layer each individual instrument, and channel 10 was
Yes,
your drum tracks,
but
and
hold your horses, because my perception is that General MIDI didn't become something of widespread until very late or very late 80s or early 90s, because the story had been told to me
yeah,
is that General MIDI was claimed and developed in favor of the video game industry, not the musicians industry. The musicians got it kind of as a grace note, as an accident,
well,
because it was never meant.
the bigger production industry is what you're saying, and I would agree. The people who need to have the ability to recall and to know that
No, no,
when
no.
they're going to
That's what I
do.
mean.
Well,
They,
there was a certain
the,
set of sounds. So if you programmed it for
but
a grand piano, and you'd say, "I want this MIDI instrument one," and then you bring them another production, you would still have those instruments, and it's just fine tuning how they sounded.
please don't misunderstand me. I'm not trying to say that
But
what you're
yeah,
saying is not right. The version it's prevalent in YouTube, which is where I'm mostly getting my information, or on online, or in historians of the MIDI implementation, because I'd never had put the time into going specifically to the Media Association website and read if they have an actual story with why they did what they did when they did it. So the story is going the story is going down in history is that General MIDI was the video game or even computer
right.
video game industry saying, okay, we cannot program the same sound score for 17 different audio cards depending on what type of PC do you have. We have to design one for Apple, one for IBM, one for INEC, one for DLL, one for Adlib, one for Turtle, one for sound, basically every audio card that you would add on to your motherboard on your computer had a completely different sound mapping. So that means that they have to redesign, they have to
But not general
even,
MIDI.
excuse me,
So the idea of general MIDI was to have a uniform sound mapping for
for
instruments.
every hardware. At least one
Right.
reference,
So how the
as in,
hardware creates a piano sound is the hardware's problem. But when in my score, I say I want a piano sound, you don't want to
exactly,
hear a snare drum. That
exactly.
was the idea of general MIDI. So
And and funny,
that's one thing.
and,
But then the multi-timbral thing is a whole other composer's
and,
situation.
be- and exactly, and because of that, uh, I'm gonna say once again, my perception is that the one who took that and ran with it the hardest was Roland, because the devices I have from the time from Yamaha, and my perception of how Yamaha handled that was that, oh yeah, that's what you want. Yes, we're gonna do it exactly the way you want, but the quality you're asking me, as in to be able to be packed
Right.
into video games, very small, is not good enough for my client. So I'm gonna do a duplicate that is higher quality performance in audio, but that you can not turn on if your device doesn't get to it.
Right.
So
The XM
I
you're
give
talking
I
about.
give you in
So
how
they
was
extended general MIDI GM to XM, which is like higher
XM, yeah.
quality general MIDI sounds and extended, right? Yeah,
Roland also did the GS
and the GS.
General or SG.
Yeah.
So they were trying to say, okay, we're gonna attain to the mapping, but we're gonna tweak the quality for those who need it. And both worlds, computer, video games, sounds, libraries, and I don't want to call it bedroom producers because that wasn't a thing back then. Because we're talking the barrier between basically 1892 92. That's my understanding. That's when all that was cooked. Am I wrong?
Yeah. Well,
88 to 92 ish.
Mid 80s. 82 is the birth of it, but for the industry to adopt it and really take hold, I feel, and we're talking like the guys who are producing, television and movie soundtracks and commercial productions and whatnot like that. Those folk, yeah, definitely, like they would have systems where the MIDI was all around MIDI.
Yep.
And general MIDI is one set of solutions, but in general, multi-timbral MIDI, right? So I think about like the EMU Proteus that I have. These little 1U boxes that are 16-channel multi-timbral, and each channel you can put basically 2 of their sounds.
Yeah.
So you can layer together up to 32 of their sampled playback sounds with their built-in, what control you have of it.
and what time is that? 80 what?
So that was the late 80s, right? This Proteus 1 was maybe 1990.
Okay.
Whatever.
Once again.
But what they were going from the bigger samplers to these small rack mounts, but the whole idea was that you would have, like mine, I have one that's for orchestra, one is world sounds, and you would have a whole collection that you could program up multi-timbrally and pick and choose from in the start of a MIDI production studio.
And that got really crazy, and I know because I have a Yamaha MU100R. Basically, the bedroom producer of the time, 19 and so on, it started with add-on cards for your computer, I think. But then Roland Yamaha took upon themselves to say, no, we can do better than this. And that's when I believe, then they started doing the 1U height, half unit wide. As in, not 19, but...
Oh, yeah.
What's the half of 19 inches?
9.5.
9.5 inch. Yeah, 9.5 inches. Which were meant to be tabletop. And funny enough, they stuck the sound canvases, the MU units from Yamaha, the 5WR I have from Korg. Funny enough, they stuck to the half 19 inch. But I think, both Yamaha and Roland decided to go 2 units and all the way up to 3 units high. As in, they knew that they could add high but not width because it was meant to go on a very narrow desk. And the one I have, this MU100R, it's basically 2 times full MIDI implementation. It's 2 times 16 channels. Yeah. So you have 32 channels at the same go, to the point that in order to give you actual 32 channel multitimbrality, they have to implement 2 5-pin DIN MIDI hardware inputs. Or, because this is the same time, also comes with a TG connection, is the micro DIN with 8 pins inside connection. And that one, I think it can hold, is 5 inputs or 4 inputs and 10 or 12 outputs. As in, MIDI cables. It's virtually 5 MIDI cables input and 10 MIDI cables output. Wow. Because each of those 5 and 10 is handling 16 channels of MIDI. Yeah. The way I call it is, and I think either they use or they were encouraged to use this standard by Apple, because they use the Apple printer port. It was the same connection, a micro DIN with 8 pins inside, right? It's the same cable, which I think is 1-to-1, except for one that is crossed. Because nowadays, units like remote, nowadays, back in the day when people used CDs and play music from CDs and DJs use CDs, the Denon standard with the satellite controller and the block player where you have your trays for your CDs. Remember those?
Yep.
The rack version of a professional CD player for DJs. The connection between the controller and the unit uses the same connection, the 8-pin mini DIN. But that one is 1-to-1. So if you try to use one cable for the other, they won't talk to each other. It's like old school printer port.
It's not a bidirectional communication path, so it doesn't need to. So.
I assume so. I don't know the ins and outs. I just know that I bought.
It's not a disc recorder, right? So the platter only spits out data. It doesn't take in data. So.
In fact, the platter only takes in data from the controller. It doesn't have to tell back to the controller.
Control data, right?
Mm-hmm. But as I said, I don't know the guts. Yeah. Only know that I bought the Denon cable and I tried to use it with the Yamaha units, and he said no. Then I have to start searching the pin out, and I said, oh, these two cables need to be reversed. Only 2 of the 8 or 9 they use. Funny, huh? Then not fun.
You didn't fry it when you hooked them up. You didn't fry anything. That's the good news. So.
That's a good side of data and not power or CV control. That is almost impossible, and most of them are optocoupled. But once again, General MIDI, fun enough, made its way through so many professional level devices. For instance, in my JV collection, except for GB80, which was the original keyboard format, I think all of the rest. No, 880 didn't either. So the first generation 8 and 880, so 80 and 880 didn't, but 1080 and therefore, and I think 1000, GB1000, which is the second generation keyboard, GB90 and all the GS units, 30, 35 and 50, they all have a general MIDI mode. You can do a couple presses and say, oh, now whatever comes through your MIDI port is gonna be MIDI, general MIDI, and you're gonna understand general MIDI and gonna behave like general MIDI. In the 1080s is a little off-putting because I don't know why. When you put the unit into general MIDI mode, suddenly the quality of your patches goes to half. It's like, it sounds like a mediocre or a very good, because some of them were really mediocre, sound canvas, instead of something like a 1080 just controlled through general MIDI conditions. And
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, because the general, isn't the general MIDI sound bank like bank 1 on the Rolands? I think on my XP30 I think it's bank 1 or something like that.
Yeah, but remember the XP, once again to my knowledge, the XP line came on the, let's call, 3rd generation of JVs.
Well, it's a JV 1080 keyboard. That's the engine. Yeah, that's the engine on the 30. And,
one of the things I wanted and I still want to do in my life is to create another YouTube channel just to talk about the Roland JVs, because there's so much more misconception.
And the 1010, and it's the knob in the 1010 picks the sound set, right? And general MIDI is one of the knobs. I remember that too. I started, that was my first one, and then I basically traded that.
I think so. Yes. Yeah, it has one of the banks is basically the 127 sounds of general MIDI. Yes, but what is A, I need to double check it. B, there's a lot of nuances to talk about. A lot of people says, oh, this device is just a 1080 engine inside. Okay. Yes, Banupa. For instance, what they say, the JB1000 is a 1080 engine inside? No, it's not. The JB1000 has its own engine that is nothing, well, it's very similar. It's based on, it's a sibling, it's from the same parents, but has enough differences to JB8 80 and 880, which is the first generation, in fact, between JV80, the keyboard, and 880, the rack, there's already enough differences to be that you need to relearn the manual again, because they do the same, but they don't do it the same way. And the rack can do things that the keyboard cannot do. Once again, that's not what we're here for. Before we get in the reason why we're here for, let me welcome our third co-host tonight, and also in alphabetical order. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Synthaddict.
Hey.
How's it going? Right on time, because you're the S. You're representing the S.
Some people say I'm an ass, but that's close enough. So
yeah.
So all this general
Hold my
MIDI
beer.
talk. So Roland had the GS,
Yeah.
and Yamaha had the XG.
Yeah.
But they're all basically, versions of general MIDI. I recently got a Alesis QS rack, and they have their own general MIDI bank, and I went through there because I know the order from all the sound canvas and stuff. They all have like the Goblin, they all have soundtrack, they all have
The gunshot.
gunshots and the helicopter. But what's fun is the Alesis one. A lot of it's done with samples, but a fair amount was done with synthesis. So the helicopter sounds like a synth helicopter, not a sample. And the soundtrack, it doesn't sound anything like soundtrack, but it's pretty good. And the Goblin has a little bit of that, like it's like a little thing going talking, kind of thing. So they do, and same with the XG stuff on the Yamaha. I have a QY100 over here, a portable unit, and it has a lot of that same stuff in it. Yeah. But they're all a little bit different. They didn't just carbon copy everybody.
Obviously, XG and GS. Yeah, I think it's XG and GS. They were trying to say, "Oh, we can do general MIDI better than anybody else."
They expanded it. Yeah, they expanded it out. So.
Trying
but
to
it's still
improve
the same basic sounds
because
the root.
The limitations are the same. The paradigm has to remain the same, otherwise it's not a standard. And I wonder if the reason why, for instance, in Sonic didn't go for samples in some of the standard sounds could have something to see with the fact that the standard itself requires a specific data size or
I think they're also
reaction
showing off
time.
Because the quadrasynth is a very capable synth. So say, why not do it with a synth engine and not just some canned samples?
Sure.
So, yeah.
Cool.
And there won't be effects or anything like that either. So
yeah, it's just.
I don't know, because both Canvas and MUs had reverb and the chorus available.
They have the water sound. They have the footsteps,
like
screaming.
The samples, the raw sound shouldn't be affected.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, it's on a command. One of the commands of General MIDI is effects on and off. Yeah. So. Cool. So let's get into the subject. What are we doing here, or am I going to try? Basically, is we already talked about the installation, the pickup. I already did a separate video to show the actual installation on the 5-string. Although I'm still feeling remorseful that I might end up modifying the multi-scale to apply a pickup there, just because I need to know if it's gonna work on a multi-scale or not, because there's so many things that point that it's not going to work, that if that's the case, I want to show it to everybody that if it does, hooray, it does. I have another guitar to choose from, and one that can do more fun stuff. And if it doesn't, show everybody that it doesn't work and why it doesn't do work. And if this show or program or live stream has any resonance or gets to the ears of Roland anywhere in the world, I've heard, I haven't seen or bought or heard of anybody who has bought it, that for GK-5, the new generation, there is a 7-string guitar pickup hexaphonic in development. Since they're not attached to the 13-pin paradigm, and the amount of strings is irrelevant because the digital conversion of the voltage is done in GK5 before it goes down the TRS cable. They don't have string limitations anymore. They can make pickups as big as they need to, or want to, or are able to sell it. For instance, on bass they can go to 7. On guitar they could go all the way to 9, because kids are using 9 strings. Okay? Problem is the kids that are using 8 or 9 strings, they play too fast for what the technology of Roland synthesizers can do in 2026. Okay? So they would be basically fighting against the latency or fighting against the mistriggering, which might be something that Roland is perfectly aware of. That's why they don't even bother. But 7-string for styles that don't play as fast, it's way more common. I mean, 7-string is the new 6-string, at least for any music or any band that has come up in the past 15 years.
So let me ask, I'm pretty ignorant. Is a 7-string going to have a pickup with 7 pickup points?
Yeah, it does. I've seen the prototype. I've seen the mock-up, the design. It basically is...
Why can't anything just feed off of the pickups and generate the MIDI from that?
Because crosstalk. They need to separate the strings enough. Okay, first of all, I don't know the real answer. I don't know the Roland version of the answer to this question. With the little information I have and with the reasoning I have, I deduce, okay, I don't know, I deduce that the reason is, at this point, GR-55 and beyond, Ace-Wise and now GM, they're already using 6 independent converters. Instead of having to use a CPU that has to deplex 6 signals and handle 6 signals, they just use slower ones, but 6 of them, 1 per string, because now they're freaking cheap. Basically, they're using, once again, I'm trying to make it big words but I don't really know. You could compare, like, they're using 6-core CPUs instead of single-core CPUs.
Right. You're talking about, these are the add-on pickups that you're putting on to add MIDI.
No, I'm talking about the brain, because in Roland world, all the heavy lifting is still done by the brain, all the way up to GK5. GK5 is the first pickup that does conversion inside the pickup. But what everybody was expecting, and we all find stupid, is they didn't do conversion from AC voltage to MIDI in the pickup like Triple Play does from Fishman. No, they did AC voltage into digital AC signal. They just digitalized the exactly same voltage of the pickup, of the magnetic pickup, so they can send it in three conductor wire instead of having to have a loom of 13 wires.
They don't have to worry about noise.
Sorry?
You don't have to worry about noise and interference.
Noise, crosstalk, interference, the cable is expensive, it's not ready available on every shop, blah, blah. With the GK5, any TRS, any balance jack cable, phone or guitar cable, as in with 3 pins, but guitar cable, will do the transfer in a pinch.
Right. But they could put all the electronics in the pickup. It would be the size of the studio humbuckers that Gibson used to make. It would have to be pretty big.
Yeah.
If they put all the brains in there.
Well, obviously, I'm not. Yes, that's the reasoning of Roland, and that's why Fishman Triple Play came and slapped them in the face. It's like, no. It's the same size. In fact, Triple Play is, I would say, 2 or 5% smaller than GK-3, okay? Because I'm not counting the magnetic side, the bar with the magnets and individual magnets. I'm counting that plus the control unit.
Right.
Taking that in consideration, Triple Play from Fishman is smaller. It's lighter, and it does voltage to MIDI conversion and sends MIDI wirelessly or wired, depend the version you want to buy, to your laptop or computer, right? So Roland arguing that, oh, we cannot make it, put it everything in the pickup because size. Well, GK5, that's the the analog to digital conversion of the signal, is 10% smaller than GK3 and is 1 or 2% thinner than GK3. Also, yes, it doesn't have as much switches. I think, no, they didn't remove the volume, but I think they removed the buttons, and they removed the guitar connection, which I'm going to show, the one that goes from the traditional pickups to the, so you can send on the same 13-pin wire both signals, the 6 divided and the standard conventional. You lose that with the Bosch generation, with GK5. It's like, okay, so yes, you're giving me something, but you're taking away 2 things I already had. Why? Let's not get into that. That's not the show. So the point of the show is to show, now that the hardware is on the guitar, that is set, that is good to go, you get into whatever unit needs to do the heavy lifting, which is getting the AC analog voltage coming down the 13-pin wire and getting that detected, converted into digital, possibly, I'm not sure, they bother in 55, but totally converted into MIDI, because once again, I don't know, I deduce, I read between the lines, what 55 that's inside is taking voltage to MIDI, MIDI to sound module, module to sound. That's why 55 still have a bad rep about latency on some of the sounds. Yeah. Because yes, it plays behind you. Some of the sounds are really laggish. Some of the other sounds don't, but to compensate or to make you believe or to fool you into, oh, we sorted the latency finally, once again, 2011, I believe. I just read that the first unit, the blue unit, was released in 2011, so probably the black unit was released in 2015, because that was the first, the data I had first in my head. To make you believe that that was sorted, fixed, is why they decided to also give you the custom engine, which is real time. The latency in the custom engines, we're talking nanoseconds, not milliseconds. All right, so nothing that an electric guitar is not already used to, from guitar wire amplifier to my ear. That type of latency. That's what that's how the custom is so fast. And that also could explain what, when you got the unit from factory, all the factory patches except for 3 patches on each 3 of the factory banks, which we're talking basically, I think it was, the guitar side is 40 times 3 patches, that's 120 patches, so 117 patches come from factory with your traditional guitar pickups turned off. So you only hear the synth engine and or the custom engine at the same time, giving you the impression that you can play lightning fast. But then when you go into the guts and turn on your actual pickup, then you hear, oh wait, there's still a millisecond extra between my actual string and the custom engine, and it's atrociously late with the PCM engine. That's why it's turned off. So I can tell. You know, when you can't tell if 2 signals are delayed if one of them is turned off. If you only hear
drone,
one,
it's fine. Just have a drone thing with it.
It's not that bad, and I'm going to show you. So, as I said, what I'm going to try to do, sadly, one of the things in this stage, I'm going to be dealing with things that Mr. Gaunton Mount, I don't think he put into his program. That's why I'm going to try and fail to show what am I doing in the actual screen of the unit. Why fail? Because this is what I got today when I tried to run that. Just give me a second. It's not pretty, basically. I don't have zoom, I don't have focus. I can try to decrease. What do you mean?
Make you full screen.
I can do this, yeah. But it's potato quality. And if I turn the room light on, in fact, it goes worse. Well, the light is on; it's just very dim. So I'm gonna be talking as usual at tone, just try to understand, to make you understand what am I actually doing. So first of all, let's get back and show. First step is, and back to me. So. So this is the puppy. So we got our GK-3. Oops, can you hear me? GK-3 pickup. Okay, we have 13 pin cable, and we have. I can show you. It's just a standard guitar jack to feed the pickup. So both signals go down to 55 down this cable. Okay, so yeah, I'm connected with this. I haven't had the time to sort this lack of sorry, not like that, this excess of cable, which I don't usually like. I like to have a flat jack here and just enough cable to get to the connection. But one thing I learned in the process, which I'm going to show you as well, for the people who saw the video where I was installing the pickup, I was fighting with the concept that the manual of the pickup was asking me to put the cable here, as in coming from this towards the bridge and around the bridge and behind. Because what I wanted to do this time is to turn around the pickup and have the cable coming towards the neck and around around the pickup. But the manual said, "Oh, you can't do that. You might end up with problems." And I just abide because I'd rather do it right the first time and not have it to undo anything, unstick or fix shit. But then, like, I'm gonna show you the manual for the 55. Which also reminded me that GK3 was not developed for 55, was developed for, I believe, 1 or 2 generations previous. So around GR30 or 33, because I'm not sure which one was first. So that would tell me that those synthesizer units, those floor units, either wouldn't like or wouldn't even have the choice to reverse the pickup, to tell the unit, oh, my pickup is upside down and or is back to front as well. Because as I learned going through the manual in 55 couldn't care less how you install the pickup. It can turn around all of it in software and technically compensate for it sometimes. And I'm getting it wrong again. Am I? Come on. It's way easier, like, you know, when you don't have tons of cables hanging from you at the same time. Okay. And I still got it wrong. Oh, come on. See? Cables. I'm trying my best not to bang. the microphone and have you deaf in one go, all of you. There. Now this goes under and over. That was hard work. Okay.
Strap challenge completed.
Sadly, I'm in the look for a nicer, nothing wrong, I guess, in AC/DC, but I'm after a nicer strap that is more suited to this actual guitar, which I love. Okay, so let me show you what I meant about the manual. Just share screen, yes, and we're gonna share a tab. Huh? Here. Oops, okay. Let me get to this and fix it. Huh, why are you... Huh? What are you... What? Streaming has generated another... Okay, which one are you seeing? None one. Okay, that's why. So, just take me out of the equation and let's come here. Okay, why are you doing this? Nope. Let's try again, shall we? Share screen. Yes, sure. Share a tab. Yeah, share a tab and share. Ah, great. It puts the list in reversed order. This tab. Share also tab audio. Nope. Just in case. Share it here. Once again. And what can you see when I add it? Finally. Let's get to this. So, can you see my pointer? No, because I'm sharing the tab. Cool.
That's it.
So, you see the graphic, right? I'm gonna see if I can make it just a tad. See this point, it goes, one mount the pickup on a left-handed base, orient the pickup with the cable extending towards the neck. So they don't want it to have different poles on different strings, right? Divided pickup must be installed in the correct orientation. Make sure that the cable from the divided pickup is extending from the bridge side. Which, exactly, so, yeah. Which is the way I mounted it, okay? And they make you a picture, and they make you kind of understand that, oh, if you don't do it this way, you're going to do it wrong. It's not going to work. Blah, 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 blah. Good. Problem is, let's remove this one, because now we go for the other one. Didn't kill anybody? Cool. If I share this, and now I go to this one. So, now you can what? Can you see the GR-55 manual? No, you can. Let's go. What? Exactly, now you can. And now we are here. And back to it. So, this is GR-55, okay? Obviously, it's a manual it's a product that was developed, and it's a manual that was developed afterwards the manual of GK3, even for GK-3B, okay? And then when we get to the section settings, page 9, let's see if I can go straight to it. Okay. It didn't go to the page because of the... Oh, no, it is. Cool. Well, we might not even... let's start with the manual because it's a little clearer. And in fact, I'm going to try this. I don't know if you can do this with Edge, because I know that Chrome can do it. Is this? Yeah, it looks like a nice enough. Awesome. Because now I can see the stream and I can see the manual at the same time. Otherwise, I'm having to jump for tabs. Cool. So, first of all, first difference for what I've learned from previous units, which is little. I don't have a deep knowledge about any unit apart from 55. I don't even have a deep knowledge about 55 itself, but let alone the previous ones. But I did look a little bit into it to understand when I was on the search of why does 55 not play the MIDI, the PCM sounds, if you play them with a MIDI keyboard through the 5-pin DIN connection. In that research is when I read all the manuals from other GR units. So when you boot the unit, it's set for the guitar. Basically, GR-55, one of the differences that made compared to every other GR unit is that they made the guitar mode, i.e. to be connected to a GK-3 pickup, and the bass mode, i.e. to be connected to a GK-3B pickup, so separate that you actually need to reboot the computer that is GR-55 in order to boot it in a completely different firmware. I'm pretty sure firmware is not the right name for it, but the way, and I'm going to show you in a minute, the way it happens, it's like that sometimes on the same hard drive on the same computer you can have like I have Windows XP and Windows 7 installed, and through a little program at the boot you choose which one is the one you're going to be using, and that's the one that displays. 55 does the same, with the difference that it's not using two different sets of software. It's just two different sets of, I think, sensors to adapt to two different pickups. When every other unit before 55, they didn't make any distinctions. Yes, you have one or two on the menus, one or two settings that would tell the unit, oh, I'm using a guitar or I'm using a bass guitar. But apart from that, every other parameter was common. Both things could trigger, both things could be set for both. I assume they had complaints about through the years/decades, and that's why they decided on 55 to say, okay, enough is enough. We need to make even more specialized the software for each pickup. Otherwise, we're just gonna keep getting complaints. And in fact, just let me show you. I'm gonna go back to the potato camera again. How hard this is. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I meant this. And by removing this, by making me this. So at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, is in bass mode. Oh. So this is, I'm gonna try to move the camera a little bit to get better resolution. This is how a patch looks in this quite huge screen, if you ask me, because look, this is my hand. For a Roland product, I think it's the second biggest screens they ever released outside workstation synthesizers. It's really humongous, and still feels not enough at some point.
GD-990 was pretty big,
but probably the same size of this one as well. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
This is a pedal though, so you have to read it on the floor. so it needs to be bigger.
Yeah, you tell that to every other unit, like for instance VG8, which I think he had 2 lines of 16 characters LCD, and you still had to go string by string to program it. Now, Roland is not famous for big screens. Never
TC
ever.
Helicon Voice Live 2 is a pretty good screen too.
Yeah, it's not Roland. Thank you.
No, but I mean it's not any bigger than this, but it's got a different layout because it has more information.
Oh, is higher resolution or it's multicolor. This one is not. This is a bigger LCD. It's not anything fancier. I think in the later generations, SYs and GMs, they did actually put higher resolutions and OLED screens, but this one is still backlit. That's why you have all the big shines from the corners. Yep. It's still a ring of light. Okay.
This is like the mode in the Kurzweil 2000 where they had big text, but it was not very good big text, but you could still read it. So.
Well, you're gonna see how hard it is to read this screen, being as big as it is even. So that's how a patch looks like. First incongruency of 55, as I said, out of factory, it comes with these 4 patch banks. Both modes have these forged patch banks, with the funny bit that the base mode, the banks are shorter than the guitar mode. I know why they did it. I just don't agree and I don't like it, but they did the right thing. It's a very long story for another time. What is funky about it is each of these banks, these 3 LED, rhythm and other, are not rewritable. The set in stone, you cannot change them at all for a later date. You can change them real time, but you change patch and it's gone. And if you want to have them as a startup for your new patch, instead of an init patch, which is in this unit is really necessary many times, you have to go to it, choose your patch, edit it, and save it in the user bank with technically is the same amount of patches in this button that these other 3 banks together. And still in base mode, the amount of patches in the user bank is still as short as the other 3 base bank patches together. So they start making distinctions and fair comparisons between guitar players and bass players right off the bat, just with that. Okay, but that's not my point. My point is, I think I did. Wait, is this? No, I think in fact I need to do it because I think this is guitar mode. The unit itself doesn't tell you outside of the booting second. So when you boot the unit, it will show you for a second and then move on and not tell you again. So many times, in order to know in which of the modes are you basically need to go through the process of changing modes, which is this. You need to go into edit.
You can't tell by preset
mode.
Names?
You what?
You can't tell by preset names?
You could, but then you need to start scrolling and you need to go to the basically exit. I could go to lead. Metal synth lead. Yeah, this is very likely to be a guitar patch. But does it tell you it's a guitar patch? No. GR-300 control 1 octave above. Nope. It does not really tell you. Rock lead organ. Because it's a lead, but also it comes on the lead sound style, which is also present in the bass unit. Yes, you could kind of, but not really. Okay. Some names will tell you, once again, reed organ plus Les Paul. On the bass side, you can have the custom engine converting your bass into a electric guitar, And I think the Les Paul is one of the options. So once again, no, you don't know which one is there. Oh, no, patch. Gladiator. Yeah, go for. Oh, sorry, this is user. Wait, why did it go into user? Okay. Just guitar vibe. Same. Not really. Nice tenor. This is a tenor sax. Okay, let's go to rhythm. In the rhythm section, 12-string acoustic guitar and chorus organ. Do you think that's a guitar patch or a bass patch? See my point? Now, so the only way to know for sure is to go through the mode swapping procedure, which is this. Need to go into edit. Need to go through your pages, which is actually jumping from tab to tab. You see these little tabs on the top? Okay. Do you see it? Anybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So you need to be jumping from tabs to get to the system tab. This is quite crucial to try to understand the complexity of the unit, but yeah, this is how it's done. Then on this concentric wheel, I've seen it in many other synthesizers from Roland. Basically, this is a data dial and this is a cursor arrows. Once you're in the tab you want through paging with your cursors is when you're gonna start. You see it goes blank, it goes white. That's how you change your options. Backup and wait. Yeah, backup init. Yeah, that's where it is. Get there, enter. You're still not there. The last option, once again, arrows, guitar to bass and bass to guitar. Enter. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Enter. And now reboot. Okay, so now need to turn it off, turn it on again, and now it's going to tell me which mode is running. If you blink, you lose it. There, that's it. That's all the information you get. It says bass mode. Otherwise, and once again, if I go to lead and one patch, octave unison lead, they don't tell you. Even if you go into the edit and see what's inside the patch, it doesn't really tell you which mode is it. So you need to be on top of the game. And this swapping, I'm gonna have to do it live in between songs the day of the gig. So not fun. I thought that out of pushing or forcing the commonalities of both pickups and trying to see which one misbehaves less, I asked in Facebook to the GR-55 forums, hey guys, would you use a bass guitar on guitar mode or would you use a guitar on bass guitar mode? 90% of the replies I got is buy a second GR-55.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the Roland solution.
No, that's the people's solution. The Facebook users, that's what many of them are actually doing. Some of them for multitimbrality, but some of them because they actually do that. They have 155 set to guitar and 155 set to bass. Because on top of that, it's not only that you have to change mode. Part of the pickup setup, which is meant to be a perk, but in this situation becomes a drag. So to do that settings, you need to start, like the manual cell says, you need to go to start with the system level, which is the global level of just GK settings for the whole unit on every patch, on every bank. Okay. Once again, once you're in edit, page, right, and when you're in system, one of the, in fact, the first box says GK settings. As I said, apologies for the bad quality of this potato webcam. Okay, so you need to go there. So you're on it, enter, get in there. And once again, potato camera. So it's not. Hey, that's the potato camera. Say hello. Okay. On top of everything, let me try to put it back. Sorry for the wobble. Come on. No, you were better before. So, the first tab, because we have a bunch of them, okay? The first tab is pickup. You need to tell the unit what are you plugging into it. This white box, I'm going to try to arrow it down. There. You see, in fact, this one, what does it say? Okay. Yeah, that says 01 Shine. Shine is the brand of my 6-string, which was my first bass guitar that I equipped with a GK-3B. Okay. Basically, it allows you to save up to, I think it's 10 profiles for 10 different guitars, which is a perk. The problem is, if you need to be swapping modes, okay, like I just did, unless I'm missing a setting somewhere, which is very easy, it always reverts to the profile number 1, which in this case is not the profile I'm using. I need to go there, give it a click, you see something change there, and if I can, then I can go to number 2 RBX 375, which is the 5-string Yamaha I'm using. And some people may say, oh, but it's just a 5 to a 6, what difference could it make? Tons of it. Crosstalk, sensors, and also because when you go through the system and the questions that the system does, you learn that in 55 you can orientate the hexaphonic pickup whatever way you want. It doesn't need to be placed with the cable towards the bridge like the GK-3B manual says. You can put it however you want within parameters, and 55 will compensate for it. But for that, it needs info. For the first line up here, sorry, another one. This one, I'm gonna move it so, God, it's blurry. Really, really sorry about the video quality. First thing it asks you is which type of pickup are you using? And funny enough, your options, starting from I think it's only 4 options, or 2 options. No, in fact, yeah, let's start here. You got a piezo type R, which I can't remember which type of piezo they actually mean with R. Piezo type G, which I believe is the Godin paradigm, the down hexaphonic nylon strings or steel strings, but piezo bridges. Any other piezo system, I think Shadow, no, with the Ghost systems, I think they're from Graphtec. You can have piezo saddles in electric guitars, in metal bridges, and I think that's what you should check in that. All this is explained in the manual. Not in too much depth, but deep enough if you know what you're handling, kind of. Then GK-3B, which that was my first surprise to remember this. The unit itself is telling me, which I wasn't sure, that they had a bass version for the GK2 pickup. I thought they never did a bass version, but yes, they did. And you still can use it with this unit. And finally, the 3B. So that's the first thing you need to tell it. Then it's gonna ask you. Let me show you this here. Otherwise, it's not gonna make any sense. So, selecting the mode guitar and bass, we've shown that. The process, system, backup init, guitar bass, confirm, reboot, and then during the mode you need to do. Adjusting the GK pickup. It shows you how to get again to system, this time GK settings. Can you see that? Good. I see heads nodding. And then it goes to pickup. In this picture, the set they call GK set, which is the profile, the specific guitar you're going to be using, or the profile you're creating for a specific guitar. In both modes, guitar or bass, that's the same behavior. And in fact, the screen they're showing you here is the guitar mode, because the pickup type mode they give you is the GK3 standard, the guitar version. Okay. As I try to show, when you're in bass mode, you don't get the option of using a guitar version pickup in bass mode, technically. Okay. So the profile you're going to be, if you try to cross-pollinate, use either or in the other mode, the profile you're going to be using is going to be skewed because it's going to do compensations to things that are not there, because it doesn't know what pickup to compensate for. Funny, huh? Basically, jump to the right page. Just in the guitar pickup. So here, funny enough, it shows you all the options of that first parameter, pickup type, which is GK3 standard, if you're using a GK3, GK2A, which is what I never knew. Wait, this is still, this is still guitar mode. Sorry, I thought that they were, because I saw the A, I thought they were putting both modes together. No, this is still only just for guitar mode. So GK3, GK2A, which that implies that it was a GK2B, which to my knowledge is the bass mode, but I never knew that the 2 was 2A. Good. Piezo, this setting is appropriate if you're using a piezo pickup that has a flat response. Piezo F, setting appropriate for a Fishman piezo pickup. G, for a Graphtec piezo pickup. L for LR bags piezo pickup, or R for RMC piezo pickup. I don't know what RMC stands for, but you see that you have options. So it's plenty. And then a scale, which is that's the second parameter that is gonna ask you, because I'm in bass mode. Sorry, because I'm in bass mode. My options. Trying to do too much shit. Sorry, excuse my English. So on bass, and I think it's the same on guitar, they let you either specify, let's call it stereotypes, which on bass is extra long, which I understand is every bass guitar in 35 inches or longer. Long for 34 inches, which is jazz bass and P bass and precision bass. So extra long. Medium, which I understand is anything between 30 and 34 inches. Short, where I think is anything between 27 and 30 inches. and then you can specify the millimeter length of your scale, which in the manual they explain you that is the distance between your bridge saddles and your neck bone or clamp, depending on the type of guitar you are. On a bass is obviously saddle to bridge, because I still don't know of any bass that. Sorry, yes, you can install a lockable whammy bar on a bass, colored as them. Okay, so that would be your next option to choose. And many other setups in this tab alone, but they're dismissing them because they're too specific to include in the manual. But that's expressly the ones that I need and I think anybody should know about. So going back to the actual unit, so guitar pickup position. In fact, sorry, yes. It's not that on the manual they don't do bass. It's the bass, a specific bass, GK-3B setup is in a different page, which is here. Okay. So back, that's what the options you would find on a bass. For pickup type, GK-3B, GK-2B, that's where I learned that there's a GK2 version. Piezo, appropriate if you're using piezo pickup that has a flat response. G, which is for Graphtec, and R, which is for RMC piezo pickup. You're not sure, choose that. If you've chosen piezo G or R as the pickup setting, you will be able to make further adjustments to the tone quality, the high range and low range. So obviously, if you choose one of the piezo options, the scale length is irrelevant because the hexaphonic pickup is the bridge, is not any millimeters far away from the bridge saddle. That's why if you choose those, all the options later on the same tab and further tabs disappear. The whole GR-55 setup and programming system is extremely contextual. Every decision you make shows or hides a fair amount of relative options after that.
I have a quick non sequitur question. Did you finish installing your pickup?
Yeah. The hardware is dead. And the setup, it's what I call 90% there. I did the whole setup on the software. In fact, what I'm doing right now is showing you the setups I already have for this for this assembly. But
you're going to demo it tonight? Or are you gonna?
Yes, if I get to it, yes, I will. I want to.
Curious.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm trying to. But my point is, even when you can do all these settings I'm going through on paper with your brain calculator, measuring tools, some of them don't actually correlate with your performance experience. So after doing the first round of setting up, you need to get back and go back and tweak it further to have the guitar behave the way you need it to behave to your actual playing technique. So, scale length, we've gone through that, we explained so. But the next one is it becomes enlightening and tricky, because it's about the pickup position, which in guitar it's kind of irrelevant because it's always going to be there, since they never built a 7-string pickup and only, to my knowledge, Keith Richards uses 5-string guitars, the pickup is always going to be in the same relative to the string's position. But on bass, that becomes way trickier because you have all these options. The pickup is the same. It's a 6-piece pickup, but it could be applied on a 4-string, on a 5-string, basically 4 ways, or on a 6-string. Hence the options for pickup position, which I think it was explained, not really. It's explained with the graphics. Basically, if you're using a 4-string on standard tuning, you can have, you can tell the pickup basically that you're using just a chunk of a 6-string, which is the treble chunk. That would be option 4-string/1. Or you can tell that you're using a 4-string, so the beat of the pickup goes in the middle of your strings, 4-string/2 or -2. Or if you're using alternate tunings, I think that would be the reason. You could tell that you're using the bass strings of a 6-string. That's why your middle pickup goes in between your first or your second. Why they did that, my only understanding is because they need to assign filtering, rumble filtering, to the specific magnetic pickup inside the divided. That's what they need to know, otherwise the triggering could get really funky. On 5-string you have less option because technically you're only missing 1 string, but there's still, because 5 strings were developed or used in 2 fashions. One is getting a 4-string with a lower string, give me a second, or getting a 4-string with a higher string. So being your low on the first case, you get your EAD, EADG strings, and then a lower B than the E string. On the other option, you still get your EADG strings, but then you add a higher C than the G string. Sorry, I need to take a drink. I'm completely losing my voice. Just give me a second. Any questions?
Nope. I mean, it's unfortunate you can't really experiment and figure out the optimal one on any of this stuff. You kind of pick one and go with it, right?
Great, I tried and I failed to do this. Okay. Sorry. Not really. On bass, once again, on guitar you don't really have options because you have 6 polar pieces and you have 6 strings, so that ship is sailed. But on the bass, the whole thing is about your tuning. Okay. Why would you? The confusing one, for instance, is the 4-string case. Why would you place the pickup, on any of the other 2 options? Let's say you have a very bright bass, for instance, and you don't want any filtering. So you find out that using for the first case, 4-strings-1, gives you a brighter, faster response, because or the other way around, because it doesn't apply the rumble filter into your bottom E. Then you could use that one. And if you want more filter into your bottom E, for instance, because you don't actually tune on E, you tune lower, then you might want to use the rumble filter. That's why would you use 4-string-3. I'm just deducing here, okay? It doesn't make much sense to me apart from that. On the 5-string, yes, because it's a completely different tuning, which is almost an octave apart. So you need to tell the pickup which is the tuning you're using. And still they give you two options. If you go with the low B, you still can have less rumble filtering or more rumble filtering. If you use the 5th, let's call it 5th pole piece, or the 6th pole piece for your bottom E. And same for the if you, instead of bottom B, you go high C, you're still the same thing. You can use less rumble filtering. Once again, I'm riffing. I'm just guessing that that's the reason why. I have no freaking idea why they went so complex in this particular. Because once again, you go to the manual of the GK-3B, all these options are nowhere to be found. They don't exist. Okay, and obviously 6-string has no option because that's how many magnet pieces they did for the GK line, for the 13-pin technology. Now with GK5, they're open to create a 7-string pickup for bass, which I don't keep any hopes. Plus, I don't think I will ever buy a 7-string. I'm trying to make all my guitars 5-strings, so I don't think I'm gonna go that route. But as I said, that's the complexity on bass guitar. Mine is set to 5-string dash low 2, which is basically I'm using the whole filtering on a low B tuning, because I'm gonna be because I need it. This bass guitar is very full-bodied timbre, is very bassy, a little muddy even, so I might want to have that extra finer hearing or detection for that low B. If I was the multi-scale, I guess I would go for 5-string low 1, because it doesn't have as much rumble frequencies, sub frequencies, even on the low B, or even if I go lower than B. Because of the extra scale, it has way more mid-range and treble than has bottom end. So I might get away with that, and I might get a faster or better sensing of the low B string on the multi-scale, if I ever get to put one of these pickups there. That's one of the reasons why it start to burn, the concept is start to burn in my head, because I need to know. I need to know you. I need the truth. You can't handle the truth. So here they go straight from pickup position to pickup distance, which, give me a second. I'm gonna touch very quickly, but I wouldn't do it like that, because as I learned going through the manual, because you have the option that if you go down there when it says on the gray figure on the left, is showing a scale highlighted, but the next one is GK pickup position, and underneath that is pickup phase and pickup direction. So basically 55 can compensate of any type of location that you want to put the magnets of the divided pickup. And even when the manual for the pickup tells you that there's only one way to put it, so be aware of that. There's way more flexibility in 55 if you're using this unit. S1 and S2 position is the two buttons in the control unit. If you want to have it in the position that they come on factory, or if you want to reverse them because you want to do them it's more logical to you. By default, these two switches are set for bank increment and bank decrement, right? If you don't want to remap these buttons, which you can, but you just want them in reverse, you want the increment up in the closer to the neck button and the decrement closer to the bridge, or vice versa, just by ticking this line here, it will switch it for every patch in the moved off base forever and ever, and you don't have to worry about that anymore. It will be like that always by default. And the last parameter, I don't think is gonna be mentioned in the whole section, and although it's irrelevant for the synth side, is still, I think, I like to think it necessary, which would be this. Can you see? So it says, let me get it right, normal pickup gain. Basically, if you're using a bass guitar in this case, or in the guitar mode, any guitar, sorry, camera. Mostly if you're using passive pickups, standard pickups, and they're not especially powerful or loud, you can, in this line for this profile of this guitar, you can tell the unit to boost your signal. Or even if you have a very, very nasty active preamp that is extremely loud, sends tons of signal to the point of being annoying or even clipping the signal in 55, you still can you can come here and tame it a little bit so it doesn't screw any patches that you use your pickups with the synth side, or even the modeling, the custom modeling. So get in there. This is the part that I cannot really demonstrate without spending ages. It says the tab is called distance, and this is basically all you have to do is to measure the distance between the point where the string meets your bridge. You can see here in the graph the point where your string touches the bridge, and the middle width of the pickup. Caliper, ruler, whatever means is more comfortable to you to do this measurement, knowing that it doesn't need to be extremely precise, since the measurement or the options you get in this graph goes in 0.5 in half millimeter increments. So it doesn't need to be three decimals long. You just need to get ballpark the closest to 0 or 5, as in 0.0 or 0.5. But it's kind of necessary that you get the full millimeters right and then approximate the decimal. I did that. It explains you can see first, second, third, and fourth string, which is the standard. Low string if you have a low B, or high string if you high a B. Nothing really complex to do there. And here is when it gets really interesting, when it gets really specific. It gives you as a way to micro-tune the amplification or the sensitivity of each divided pickups, all 6 pickups inside the chassis. And they give you a measuring tool, which is this one. Sorry, you moved through the tabs with the page button. So that's the numbers for that I found for my guitar, and that's the measuring. So for this, you're obviously going to have to get at the point that the pickup is installed and it's not going to move. You're going to need your 13-pin cable connected to the guitar and the unit. You need, I don't think you even need the volume to be up on the pickup, but it doesn't hurt to do it. Don't bother even connecting the standard pickups because this is not where you read those ones. Here you read the hexaphonic only. If you can, well, if you can guess, because nobody can tell from this image, I'm so sorry. You see that out of 6 lines from top, which is the highest string, to bottom, which is the lowest string, I went out and took the trouble to put the high string, which I don't have, to set the sensitivity to 0. And I'm going to show you why. Because I'm going to put it to a mid-range, like it comes from factory, which I think is around 50. Okay, so that's on 0. That's on 50, okay? Each graph is going to show how much voltage each one individual section of the pickup is generating. Look this funky thing. Okay? But if I plug hard enough on my highest string, which is the second string here on the screen, okay, it's proving me wrong. Well, first of all, you see the actual, wait, unless, I think I just discovered something. Let me double check this. So, because I selected 5-string low, I'm going to go to 6-string to make my point. Okay? 6-string doesn't have choices because there's only 6 polar pieces inside the pickup. Now if I go here, exactly. So my 5 strings are the ones that show louder, but my 6-string, which I don't have, shouldn't be there. See that little bit on the top line? Can you see that? Anybody? Hello.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah.
Yeah. So can you see that? All 6 lines light up.
I see it. Well, the top one didn't light up very much.
No, but once again, that's how much crosstalk the GK pickup has. What is hearing is not the string is on top of the polar piece, which is outside of my string range. As in, it's underneath no string. There's nothing there, but it's hearing the string that is close to hers. So I'm gonna just plug the string that is close to that one and see how much there is. See? The one I'm plugging goes all the way up, but the one is not there, is still detecting. It's still reacting. And I'm plugging only 1 string out of 5. Look all the graphs. Okay? So all the extra information from the strings you're not plugging, the system needs to decide if it needs to trigger something or not.
Well, let me ask you something.
Go for it.
If you hold down one of the strings, play a note,
Yeah.
do you still get that same pattern for that string? Or
What do you mean?
So I'm wondering if you're playing, when you play an open string, it's going to resonate very strongly. And like the string above it, is that tuned like a fifth or something that's part of the harmonic series? So it just naturally resonates harmonically.
You think that because my hand's on the strings, the pickup is going to have less crosstalk?
No, I think it's what I'm saying is if you don't have the harmonic relationship between a note where you're playing a string, or playing a note on, putting your finger down to play a note, versus the open strings around it. It's no longer harmonically in tune with them.
Okay. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to fret 5th fret on the middle string, which to me is the A string. Okay. So I'm going to be...
I'd only do like a second, something that's not harmonic. Like a second, not a third or a fifth, or if that makes sense.
Sure. On the string of A, I'm going to be playing a B.
Okay.
All right. This is what it registers. See?
Yeah. So it doesn't.
But resonance or not, if the body's moving from any string moving, it's still going to vibrate the strings. Resonance or not.
And they're all metal, and they're all in a magnetic field. That's why.
Yeah.
But that is something that the CPU needs to be fighting through the whole performance.
Right. So you set a threshold, right?
That's why the first thing that you need to choose, like I did, because now it's even reading the string that is not there, because I told him, what I plugged is a 6-string bass. So it has changed all his setup to sense in all 6 pickups. That's why it's important going to the first screen. Okay, go back to the first screen where you're on the pickup, get to the type of pickup you're plugging, and get how many strings you're doing right, so it can switch off the magnets that are not going to be using, so it can breathe a little bit the CPU and not having to be going crazy in deciding what to choose and what to play and what to not to play. So I'm gonna put it back to 5-string low 2, and when I go now to the sensor, look what happens. So I plug all 5 strings. Look, the top line is gone. It's not because there's no signal on the pickup, it's because 55 is shutting it. Because I told you, I don't have 6 strings. So, and I'm telling 55 which one. You remember the graph about where to put the pickup in 5-string and 4-string guitars, where to put the pickup? Basically, you're telling 55 which magnets to turn off. Because if I go back to the same thing and I go for low 1 instead of low 2, low 1, which is technically I'm shifting the whole pickup 1 string higher. Look what happens now if I didn't change it by accident. Did I change it by accident? Yeah, I changed it by accident, sorry. Put it back to where it was. So now, if I'm right, the one that should go silent is the bottom line. But it's not. Is it still detecting? It's not shutting. Wait, it's because I'm wrong. Maybe I need to go to the other 5-string option. Wait, did I choose the wrong 5-string option? No. Let me see if I can fool it and choose another thing and see if we can shut the bottom string. So I go to 5-string high 1. So technically, there it goes. It has very low signal on the top line, which he thinks I'm playing a C string on top of the first magnet, but all that he's getting is the vibration of the second string getting to the magnet, to the first magnet. But because he thinks that is my first string out of 5, then the bottom magnet should be empty. That's why even when I press my B string, it's not registering it. It's registering the crosstalk in the other magnets. So that's the importance of that setup and telling the system what are you using, so it can stop while guessing what's going on. So let me put it right. Cool. But my point was to show you how much crosstalk the pickup actually has. But I'm going to plug the bottom string. Let's see how many higher magnets do trigger. Look at that. The first line is already turned off because I went back to pickup position low number 2. But the bottom string, the B, the one closest to my hand, is triggering every single of the 4 pickups, to the point that some people in the community have decided to wax spot the pickups themselves to try to reduce, and judging by the graphs they shared, it's amazing. Just by wax spotting the pickup, all that crosstalk disappears. Means that the CPU doesn't need to work as hard to choose between sound, crosstalk, rumble, or music. Everything that goes through becomes music. So your latency should decrease. But once again, I'm gonna just, for my peace of mind, gonna go back the turned off magnet. I'm gonna bring the sensitivity to 0. Now that I know that it's actually disconnecting it itself, I don't need to do it, but I'd rather do it so I remind myself that that one it shouldn't be triggering anything. Next, let's go to the manual to get a little background. So that is the beginning, telling the unit what is it receiving and why is it receiving it. Okay, now, and that's all you need to do to start making sound with the 55. That's why the section ends there. It doesn't even mention the other tabs. But it says here, for the rest, can I do this? No, I can't. Sorry, I clicked there and it went there. This is the other options that you get. Well, in fact, this is a graphic of all the options. Okay, because once again, it tells you pickup type. This time it tells you both options. On top, the guitar mode, and on the bottom, the bass mode. Scale, same for guitar and bass, the options that you can choose. Funny enough, in the pickup type you got more types for guitar than for bass, but on scale you got less options for guitar than for bass, because obviously this unit and this manual, although you could set it up on the millimeter setting, you see there's a 500 to 660 millimeters option, then a standard 648 ST is not for standard, I understand it's for Stratocaster. 648 millimeters, or LP stands for Les Paul, 628 millimeters. That's the only choices for guitar. Because back then, long scale and baritone guitars were not even considered. And in fact, baritone guitars, if any, I never asked them, but I'm guessing they wanted you to put the unit in bass mode, if you use a baritone guitar. Anything beyond, I guess, anything beyond 26 inches or 27 inches, they will ask you to put the unit in bass mode. Guitar GK pickups, same thing. Most is for the bass option because guitar doesn't have any. Phase, the phase of the divider pickup and the guitar's normal pickup. So, like many of us, you will want to use both your magnetic pickups and your divider pickup using the Cosm engine or even the PCM engine on the very fast options, on the very fast sounds. You might find yourself with a polarity cancellation because your guitar frequency is going counterphase than the synth. So you have a phase option, which in fact was on the first tab, the one where you choose what the position of the pickup and so forth. Questions?
Nope.
Okay, I thought synthetic had one. Pickup direction. That is when it says where the cable is being born for, but it's more about. I think this is more about the GK-3 normal, because it says the cable stands from the side of the sixth string or the cable stands from the side of the first string. Remember that the guitar pickup, the cable is not in the middle of the pickup but in one end. Right. So it allows you to choose where the cable is gonna go. Over the bridge, as in where your hand is meant to be, muting the strings, or under the bridge, far away from your heart. So your sweat will not get into the pickup, or it will be harder to get into the joint between the pickup and the cable. I believe that's why they developed this. I don't know if previous units had it. 55 does have this option. I think reverse was an option in all the previous ones, but not so much phase and position. So again, we're still we're basically on the same tab. These are the other lines I did go through. S2 and S1, S2 position, normal pickup gain if you want to boost or tame your actual pickups. These two are just 4 piezo options of bridges, which I understand is mostly for guitar players. I'm not familiar with bass guitars with piezo systems that have 13-pin connections. Yes, I know about bass guitars with piezo pickups, and I even know of some of them that uses individual saddles, individual crystals per string, but I'm not aware of any of them like the Godin guitars having a 13-pin output for this type of application, which is basically adding an extra rumble filter to the piezo, because the pickup is inbuilt in the body and the whole body is meant to be vibrating while you're playing your guitar.
Did you use that for a hollow body?
Once again, if you get this option is because first you choose on the type of pickup, you choose piezo, which automatically removes the bridge to the pickup to saddle measurement, because the saddle is the pickup, is in the same spot.
Right.
So as I said before, although this table is showing you every possible option that you will find on every menu is contextual. If you choose piezo, you will not have the pickup to saddle measurement to choose from or to set up, because the system knows where it is. There's no distance, 0 distance. And then it will give you these two options, piezo tone low and piezo tone high, which is basically filtering off harmonics and body vibration out of what it will trigger as notes.
Okay.
Which, for what I've learned through reading on the Facebook groups, etc. It's very, very important. And that's what I mean. This distance pickup bridge is the parameter that disappears if you choose ISO. You don't get this on either or. Sensitivity. This is the window I just showed with the bars moving, where the crosstalk can be measured. And you're meant to compensate each individual pickup sensitivity so that all the strings with the same playing strength will score the same high on the sensor on the screen. Otherwise, you're gonna have strings behaving different on the triggering and on the muting and on the mistriggering that other strings. That's what I said before. That's the fine tweaking you need to go over again once you've done it once, play it a little bit, then do it again, then play a little bit, and then do it again until you actually make it behave. That's the non-plug and play part of this technology.
Takes a while, I guess.
Yep. Low velocity cut. Yeah. Low velocity cut is in this next. Well, in fact, no, this is the whole. This is the next screen. Let me show you. Where am I? Yeah, lost. Here. I'm using two windows who have the same content. So, we were here in these windows and seeing all the pickups. The next tab is velocity relative. Okay. So first you have a velocity sensor, which I don't know why they do it this way. Works in reverse. The quieter you plug, the higher it scores. Is when you plug hard. Wait, no, okay. No, then it's the other one that works in reverse. Sorry. Yeah, it kind of tells you the sensitivity. It doesn't distinct any of the strings, but it tells you. And it gives you the options of velocity dynamics, play feel, which is very important, and low velocity cut, which means dynamics adjust the sensitivity of the PCM tones volume. The further you raise the setting, the more easy it becomes to produce high values for velocity. So you're remapping your hardware velocity to the MIDI velocity. Okay, that way you can be more consistent or louder with more nuance or more dynamic because instruments you can unbalance on purpose or just try to keep it as balanced as possible. Play feel. Adjust volume as in velocity. Change curve for the PCM tone. Lower number settings give you a wider range of volume change in response to your PCM dynamics. Higher number settings, the volume becomes more consistent regardless of your PCM dynamics. Basically, this is velocity as in MIDI velocity compression, right? So the higher the number, and I think it's only set from 1 to 5, there's only like 5 levels, the higher the number, the less difference between your low notes and your loud notes will be. As in you will be playing loud notes all the time. And low velocity cut adjust this if simply touching a string cause a note to be unintentionally triggered. Raising this value will make it more difficult to trigger notes. This makes sense when you start playing and suddenly just by changing your hand position to a different fret, that rub noise will make MIDI sounds come out. Or the sympathetic tiny vibration of one string because of the vibration through the bridge moves the next string will make it. So you can compensate. You could call it a noise gate for unwanted triggerings. Okay? Which is, and I think it says, raising this value will make it more difficult to trigger notes. Basically, you're raising the threshold of the noise gate. Okay, the next.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Well, you hear what I set up already.
Gods. We want Thunder of the Gods.
Okay.
It's like that Carly Simon song, Anticipation, right?
Anticipation.
So, to get out of setup, you go to exit. Let's start with leads. And let me just show you a peruse. Yep. And undo this. And undo this. Oh, okay. Great. That's what I forgot. Can you talk amongst yourself, interest? While I run for a cable I'm missing.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You do what you do. I'll throw something completely different up to.
We'll talk about Eddie while he's looking for cables.
Yeah.
Let's do that. I'll be right back in a jiffy.
So I don't know, but you guys saw. I'm very excited about this new piece of software that came out today, or at least that I saw today, and scooped up, which is the emulation of the Ensoniq DP4.
Oh yeah.
Which I thought was in the class of unemulatable, because the IP was all tied up by Creative, and the DSP chip involved was like unobtainium, no more around, and stopped being created 25 years ago, etc. But this new...
yeah, I'm a big fan. I have a DP4 and a DP4 Plus. They're great.
Yeah, I have the 4, and I have the defective record software to kind of control it, which is, the flavor of this is kind of in that spirit. But they're just, it's such a wonderful box of effects that vintage, impossible to get to the guts of it without just like what's going on here, just diving through 17 layers of menus and
for sure.
So
in fact, the ASR X, ASR Pro X have a version of that in there.
Yeah, so they've got a 2 chip. So they added the 2 chips or the 4 chips. It's the same effects, because they're the same effects that are also built into the Paris recording cards.
Yep.
So each Paris recording card had 4 chips on them to support the the effects on that sub bus, but also to support some layer of master effects as well. And so this new the Deep 4, they call it. I went ahead and grabbed it, and immediately throw a little VCV oscillator into it, and just start going through the presets, and it's like, oh yes, yep. And they have the banks of the 1 unit, the 2 units, and the 4 unit clusters, so you just get all sorts of complexity and all. But
that's cool.
Yeah. Now I wonder if it can support actually reading existing banks, because I know Don Solaris came up with a bank when he was playing with his DP4, and it sounded pretty good when I saw of his stuff, but you're basically just reconfiguring what's in there. You're not creating anything new other than just reconfiguring the 46 algorithms and whatnot. But a lot of guitar stuff too, because the hardware, it's got that high Z input, so you can plug your guitar.
Yeah, there are a lot of guitar presets on there. Yeah, for sure.
And I had so much fun playing my guitar and bass through it, and just going through these presets with that software, So.
Yeah, I don't see Don doing much online as much as he used to. He used to be super active online.
Well, he's the guy. He repaired a DP4 by recapping it, and there were like so many caps he had to replace, and at some point, he has to go into like 10x video to get the video done. But I'm like,
wow.
Oh God, I would never ever want to recap something like that.
No.
So Larry's is basically working almost exclusively for Steinberg in Yamaha.
Well, he was a Roland guy for a while. He's big on the
JVs.
He's like the champion of the JD990. That's one of his favorites. So
yeah.
He used to have challenges on some of the forums about make a track of JD990. He would judge them and stuff.
Cool. Let's see if this is going to work, or else.
Have you guys ever used Harmony Central in the old days? The old Harmony Central forums.
A little bit.
Rings a bell. I think it did.
Before Gear Sluts, it was Harmony Central Key Synth and Samplers section, and it was like really, really active. It was great.
Because I think of Gear Sluts as coming from Rec Audio Pro.
Yeah, they had their own thing, but before that became like a name brand, as far as I know, it was Harmony Central. That was the place to go.
Oh yeah, no, Harmony. Yeah, that was exactly. And
they had some ownership change, and then it all fell apart. So it's still around. You can still look at the old archives, but it's not very active.
Well, now you've got like Gear News, Gear Wire, Gear.
Yeah.
And, so many different notification systems.
And there were amazing Yahoo groups back in the old days, and then when they killed the Yahoo groups, a lot of them migrated to Facebook.
I still have the first email in my inbox is the one they sent, which was sort of like the farewell for Yahoo groups.
Yeah.
And it's called The Evolution. So they gave the whole history of Yahoo groups and all. And I was the group manager for the Fostex VF16 1/160 recorder. And we had our little community there for several years. And whatnot.
It was great. I mean, I got EPROMs burned for weird gear from guys in Yahoo groups.
Yeah.
So it was really useful.
Because like you say, Harmony Central, all these things started from very niche groups, then expanding out. And when you get such a wide readership, you get all kinds of things going on.
Yeah. I even had
tens of thousands of Yahoo
a GeoCities webpage for a while that got killed. So.
That's ancient.
How about a CompuServe, one of those Go whatever?
I had a number-based CompuServe, an impossible number-based account. I hated those.
Yeah.
It was like 5 numbers, then a comma, then like 3 numbers.
Like latitude and longitude or something.
It was so ridiculous.
And it had it wasn't like your IP related or
No, it was just
like randomly
really
generated.
Yeah, I had that. I had God, there's so many back then. I mean, I was at AOL. I wasn't into BBSs. I had friends on the Apple II. They were doing BBSs back in the early '80s, but in fact, one of them was hacking grades at the high school. Got busted. He was that good.
So cliche.
Yeah. Well, not good enough. He got busted.
Well, he did it for a while. But back then, I remember there was a scandal about the SATs. There were people being paid to take SATs for people. They didn't check IDs.
Yeah. Right.
And so you could be a different race, a different gender, and go take the test for somebody, and they pick $100 to take the test, and you get an awesome score. So
yeah, we had that at my school because when I was in grad school, they started instituting a math test for all incoming students, and so they got us to proctor it. And one of the things we had to do was like make sure whoever was taking the test was the person that should be taking it. Why are we doing this? Like, well,
I mean, it's so basic. Everyone had at least. Well, maybe they didn't have a California ID back then. If you were a driver's license person, that's your ID. But a lot of kids didn't have driver's license yet, and they started instituting a California ID, which is just looks like a license, but it's not for driving.
Right. No,
but not every kid had that either.
IDs.
And student IDs could be faked, so that was the thing. So
it's a picture ID, so it's sort of like it's a math test for fuck's sake. Who cares? I'm sort of like, whatever. Yeah. If you're so desperate that you need to cheat, and it's all it does is says like, are you able to take any of our classes, or do you need to take the junior college remedial class, which I taught.
Yeah.
The junior college paid me to teach that class, so that was arithmetic 101 or something. But
You know, it really sucked though. In college, they were using Social Security number as your ID, your student ID,
sure.
which is the stupidest idea with identity theft and all that stuff on the horizon.
Well, they didn't know. We were innocent.
They should have thought, though. I mean, it's a financial thing tied to you forever.
Yep.
It's kind of a stupid thing to make it a student ID, right?
Yeah, no, that was mine in my college days, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And most early on in teaching, the same thing. And then at some point they generated a number, and that's what they used from there.
And then, of course, you had the Y2K crap too, the bug. So stupid.
Yep.
We're never going to use these computers past this date. Don't worry about that. Would they expect the world to end?
They did.
I guess. I mean, it still could with all the stuff going on now.
They didn't want their computer to be the one that caused the world to end.
Well, actually, wasn't it 2031 or 2032 is when the
that's the Unix.
Unix time code fills up?
Yep.
Oh, really?
So that's the 32-bit cycle.
Yeah, 32-bit. Everything's 64-bit now.
But the key thing is there'll be some embedded system somewhere that'll, they're worried it'll screw up and it
on satellite.
Well, especially the banks, because banks are always slow to upgrade anything, right? So they're going to have the old shit.
Banks and medical.
Yeah.
So.
All the GPS satellites will quit working.
Those are fun days. The Y2K.
So we had to go around and test every computer in the business with this little CD that they came out with, the test kit, and it was just the dumbest thing. It was just.
We probably had something similar. I wouldn't say it was a CD, but at some point they went around and blessed each computer, and they put a little sticker like Y2K OK or something. And it just went on. So we grabbed the sticker, you put them on the telephone, on safe drawers, whatever.
Yeah, this is before they had a proper group policy thing set up where you could just push everything. So we had to manually go around and make sure every computer, lab or not, even one's disconnected from the network, were patched. It was
but the thing is, nothing was ever built in a push environment to begin with. So, why would you expect it to work all? You got to take account how is everything.
Well, I mean, it's the right operating system. It will work just fine. Group policy stuff. But we were just getting into that stuff at that time. It was early days. Yeah. Everything was still Windows 95. So.
Well, it's one thing if you've got what I'll say corporate, enterprise resources. But it's another thing when you start getting into research and engineering organizations and all these people who have their own little fringy fiefdoms of computing. Yeah. And, so, yep.
Back then, you weren't forced to update, so they could be way behind on everything.
Oh, God, yeah. So.
Whereas now, like Windows 10 and higher, they automatically update you whether you like it or not, unless you know how to hack the registry. So.
I've been lucky in that regard. They've been updating me quite successfully, keeping things going here.
Well, we had Windows 10 updates several years ago that were basically breaking computers.
Oh, sure. I've heard of that.
And it wasn't just like, oh, you have a glitch. No, it's a blue screen and it's toast. You have to do a reimage.
Oh, Windows 10 is broke anyway.
Well, I mean, I preferred 7, but 7 didn't last. So
I'm still using it.
I mean, I have it on. I have VMs for everything. So I have XP on a VM. I have 7 on a VM. I have even some old Mac stuff on a VM. So VMs are going to save the world, basically. All these old software tools are going to be around forever. All your VSTs, all of your ancient stuff that doesn't work anywhere else. VMs will save everything. When the CS80 stopped working, like Kent Smong says, you can't get parts anymore. The CS80 clones that are good in software will work forever on a computer as a VM. So thank goodness for VMs, because they really save everything.
All right. So, sir, are we ready to roll? You're muted.
Not yet. I'm on it. First thing.
You found that cable, right?
I find one, but it doesn't work. I find a second one. Let's see if this one works. Because if this doesn't work, I need to go old school.
Is it a 13-pin cable you're looking for? What was it?
No. That's the one that works.
That's good.
Something more mundane is a USB. Yeah, this is not playing ball.
How many pins is that?
Yeah.
4, 5.
4?
Sorry, 5 for self-detection. Yeah.
USB.
Yeah. Should be A and B started with four contacts, but then they moved to 5 contacts for self-detection. For some.
Aren't there like 8 wires in the cable? They only use 4 or something like that.
Yeah, USB.
I don't know.
USB is it's all over the place, especially when you get to USB 3, USB 2B, USB 2A, and then you got these little guys. I mean, that's DVI.
They also had those like USB power only cables for charging. They didn't have the sync parts in there, and
yeah. I mean, the pins and the wires are still there. They just
didn't hook them up.
You know, you're not using them. You know, they just beefed up the power lines.
Oh well.
There's all different flavors of it now, so it's not.
I tried to use those one time for a sync, and it didn't do shit because it was just for power.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
But it's not really It's not really universal anymore, is it?
It's universally confusing. Yeah.
There was a universe, or there is a universe where it's universal.
It's like any other standard. I mean, SCSI was all over the place. I loved it for samplers and stuff like that, but man, it was all over the place.
Yeah. Well, that's what's great about standards. You got so many to choose from.
Exactly. And the best one usually loses.
I like Beta. Or was it Super Audio CD was better than DVD-A or something like that? Or the other way around? I forgot.
Yeah. Or left-hand drive.
Did you find the right cable? Nope.
Muted. Still muted.
No, he shook head. So
Yeah.
all right.
Well, just order from Amazon, you know, instant delivery.
Yeah. I've actually gotten, I think within 4 hours once from them. That was kind of wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
It's nuts.
But I mean, doing
Not quite
rideshare
my
a lot
record,
lately.
but-
There are depots all over the Bay Area here, so I'm not surprised they could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, just within like a 1 hour drive
Can't
of
hear
where
you.
I am now,
You're muted.
you can. It's like 7 or 8 depots.
Nope.
Still mute. Now he broke his microphone connection.
Well, I think
Leave
the
us your
record.
microphone cable for them.
It's that damn potato.
So the Amazon record for me was I ordered something on a Saturday. I'll say afternoon. Could have been evening. I don't know. But I got up the next day and it's sitting on the stove because I was where I was living. I had a roommate, and I was like, "How did this get here?" And he says, "Finally, I found it." He said, "Oh, I woke up early and it was outside, so I brought it in for you." And I was like, "Oh my God, that's delivery! Amazon will deliver it to your kitchen."
1, 2, 1, 2.
There he is.
No, but potato is the part that is actually working. It's 55. Problem is I'm trying to use 55 digital output, and when you connect the USB of 55, because it's a non-compliant driver, it takes over your system resources.
Good old Roland.
Yeah, don't you love it?
I have a
So,
in and out USB Roland interface, and it came with a driver disc. Somebody gave it to me with the thing I bought. I just threw it to the side. I'm not touching the shit. I want class compliant stuff, you know.
Yep.
but then forget about Roland. Even nowadays in 2016, they still don't do class compliant.
I know.
Driver.
Lazy. Yeah, they're lazy.
Does RME do class compliant? I don't think so.
What, RME?
Yeah, I was looking at their stuff. I don't think they're class
I would.
compliant.
They don't?
No.
I mean, all
That's
the
sure.
stuff I bought, M Audio,
Yeah, a lot
and
of-
what's the other company?
my little Motu Hoos and my Arturia are both class compliant. But
Yeah, those are class compliant. The
RMEs, they're USB, but it's like USB 2 or whatever.
Yeah, there's some really good ones out there. They're not too expensive, cost compliant.
Okay, wish me luck. So let me flatten this, because I know that all this shit adds, and let's put it quite. No, let's first get volume and system. That is all right. Give me a second. I might do a pop right now. What? Okay, it's fine. What the? Oh, come on. Amazing. I managed to crash it. First time ever. This has never ever happened to me.
You crashed the
GR?
The GR?
The 55 has crashed. I need to reboot the software.
Don't forget to choose base.
Yes. It wouldn't even turn off. It wouldn't even turn off. Hard reboot.
Some smoke coming out.
Yeah. Pin pin.
Okay.
I did break it.
Good thing you have 5 more.
Is it still under warranty?
Well, I'm getting okay. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
You're good.
Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
You're there.
It's doing weird stuff. I'm still in. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't like the Wasabi driver. Let's see about the kernel. We got signal. And I need to send it to you. Let me know if this is too loud.
That's great.
Do a little louder if you want.
Louder, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, your voice is louder than the music.
Let me try.
We couldn't tell if that was stairway or smoke on the water.
Or neither. So I need to go into settings. I think it's in MIDI USB, and keep going all the way up to USB. Audio out. I'm gonna try to crank it because it comes halfway. Let's crank it and let's regulate down here. I got some crackle. I guess that. Yeah, I think it must be a driver conflict because I'm not using the ASIO driver.
It sounds like there's a campfire overlay.
Yeah, but it's not. That's
it's vinyl.
It's fine.
Yeah. It's a vintage crackle plugin. Right?
Lo-fi.
I shouldn't be laughing because I paid money to get that effect into Cubase. How stupid's that? The vinyl crackle
has a vinyl sim with the cracks and pops.
Yeah. Eddie,
yeah.
Your JV1080 has a preset called 33 1/3. And I used to sit at band practice and dial that up and just sit there with that kind of real low. and it's basically like the crackle of a spinning record. And
rings a bell.
The guys in the band be like, "What's that noise? What's that noise?"
That's funny.
Like, oh, I don't know.
It does ring a bell, yeah.
So.
Because they were testing what they could do out of samples. Okay, let's
there's a camouflage track where they start the album on the first track, and it has the sound of a record needle going down, and then it'll crackle, 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 and then it has these guys laughing. This was like, ha, it's supposed to be, because it was like CD-ROM era stuff, or like audio CD era, and here's the sound of a record being started. So
I think they stole that from Monty Python.
Probably.
Monty Python did a lot of clever stuff.
They did the matching tie and handkerchief opens with like this scratching record. Stop this bleeding record.
The best Monty Python trick was something was never recorded. Kent said he actually watched the live broadcast of one of their shows, and they slowly played with the volume and dropped it down, and sort of at the end of the show they cranked it up. So everyone's reaching for the knob.
After everybody put up the volume, I can hear him.
Yeah, that's a great trick.
Yeah, that was like an Faulty Towers episode. That woman with the hearing aid.
You can laugh, but I've seen a real life application of the same principle. Have you? Well, I assume you have not, but there's a band, heavy metal band called Manowar. Okay.
Heard of it?
Okay. And in more than one of his albums, they do the same by starting the album with some type of speech or conversation, something that you need to understand what they're talking. Very kind of quiet. Okay? So you put your volume up to understand the words. And then for a while, Manowar had the Guinness World of Records of the loudest gig ever performed, 140 decibels.
That's dangerous.
I think
that's stupid.
Well, in the 70s, supposedly Tangerine Dream set a record for concert volume. It was around there.
Yeah. It either was not 140 or it was a different book. Because you know that records are very silly. It's how do you do it? In front of who do you do it? When do you do it? There's many records of the same stuff. Many people.
Of course, Spinal Tap was called England's loudest band, so you know.
But I'm afraid they were talking about the clothing, not the music.
No, I think they got that from some other one, because that band is a hodgepodge of like Saxon and a bunch of other famous bands all making this kind of cartoony band. And I'm sure that loudest band came from one of those bands they were emulating.
Okay, this is not right.
Or is it?
It's meant to be a harmonica. This is not right. It's fighting the driver. Problem is, in order to use the ASIO driver, I need to use the 55 as my audio interface, and it doesn't have a microphone input. So for you to hear the 55 properly, you need to stop hearing me. That's why I'm trying to work around it.
Wait a minute, why can't you just plug your microphone in where your regular bass pickups go? Into the,
because I don't have a high impedance TS connector for a microphone. At least not the one that I can find in 3 minutes.
You thought of that.
But I'll write that down and might experiment with that someday to see if I can do any other sources that is not.
Are you trying to do audio out from GR-55 with USB?
Yes.
You don't have audio out, you can just plug into the board from GR-55?
If you can keep talking about something else, yes, I can go analog.
Oh, okay. That's what you're doing. So.
No. That's not what I'm doing, but I can do it if you give me 5 more minutes, because I need to find the cable, put it in, and do all the routing.
Well, it's up to you.
Can you do that?
If it's all noisy, then you might have to.
I mean, I just rebooted a different driver. Let's see what we got here. Shit. Trust me, it sounds way better than this.
Distorted saxophone, yeah.
It is. Okay, give me a 5. I'm going analog. Okay.
You do yakety sax with a distorted saxophone.
Yakety sax.
Benny Hill thing.
Yep.
Okay, be right back.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't bought anything for a hell of a long time. Just been broke, but I did find a hell of a deal on a Lisa's QS rack the other day. It was really cheap, which has amazing sounds on it. It's one of like a hidden gem.
Fuck this.
And I got a Wave State.
I
use Wave State cheap as well. The Wave State's amazing.
This is what you should use instead of Roland.
Ah.
That backwards? No. There it is.
Which one is that?
This goes back to the 70s. Before MIDI, before anything. You plug your guitar into it, you get CV and gates out of it.
Oh, no way. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
What's the brand?
What was it? 360 Systems.
360. Yeah.
Yeah, they were around for quite a while afterwards, but
Are they hard to find?
it's basically pitch to voltage converter.
So that's something that what was that guy's name? There's
There's
one
a guy
guitar.
named Timo. He wore a silver suit.
No, there was a Stanley Jordan. I think did a lot of MIDI or CV stuff.
Yeah, I mean this is like late 1970s.
Yeah, there were certain guitars that would show up in keyboard magazines with that stuff.
Yeah, it was mid 70s. I was still in college.
That sounds terrible.
So it's basically pitch to CV converter. You can put a bass or a microphone into it and get a pitch CV out of it for
Wow.
controlling analog stuff.
It's called the Slave Driver.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have to look that up. I never saw that before.
yeah. It's ancient.
I mean, MS-20 has really good tracking and pitch to their version of CV. It's Hertz Volt.
No, this was much more advanced than that. And even more advanced than this, a guy by the name of Harry Bissell, I think is still around. He was a week ago. He did a much better pitch to CP board. The circuit board's like that big. It's huge.
Oh, yeah.
And he did the one for Moog that Moog used.
Nice.
And it's much faster response than any of the GK or digital ones.
They
You're
have a
talking
trick.
like a millisecond.
The Roland GR-55 little mini synth actually has a little hack. You can pull the microphone out and adapt the XLR to another connector and use that as a pitch to MIDI, and it works very well.
Yeah.
It's like a secret trick. Nobody knows about it.
Yeah. No, that's just basically you can buy an adapter off of Amazon.
But yeah, there are a few tricks like that out there. They're pretty cool. I mean, I have some stuff on my Euro rack that will do that. But
Well, my new toys are sequencers. I got the latest one is that the KeyStep Mark II. And
Oh, yeah.
That arrived the day before the announcement of the KeyStep 37 Mark II.
Mm-hmm.
Not that would change my decision, but still, it's like, and
Yeah.
I'll get one of those as well. But I'm loving this little guy.
Did you ever try KeyStep Pro? That's my favorite because for hardware jams, it's amazing.
I don't have the Pro, because it seems like the Pro is one channel of keyboard and 3 channels of beat step, right?
Nope, it's three channels. Well, it's technically 4 channels of whatever you want, but one can be dedicated to drums if you want to.
Right. Okay.
But it's four channels of whatever, MIDI, CV gate, whatever you want, and it has clever little sequencing rules in there. Not as good as an OPZ, but clever little tricks to tweak the sequences on the fly.
Right.
And the ribbon for changing some like stuttering effects, some time-based stuff, and really easy to use, very powerful, and just laid out really, very friendly, very fun.
It looks very powerful. It's more than I'd want to spend on a controller typically for the kind of stuff I'm doing. But this little guy,
I get it.
And the thing is, like, typically I'm using it for our monthly jam session, and I'm playing something like the Novation Peak, or now I've got these little Behringer mono synths or whatever. But I'm playing an arpeggiator, and the ability to kind of mutate that over time
Yeah.
is wonderful. So I've just been having a blast with that mutate button.
Well, I was using Loopy for a long time on the iPad, which is amazing.
Yep.
But I wanted something more controllable because that's just audio loops.
No.
And so that's why I said, well, at least 4 sources is good to get something going. So that's why I got the Pro, because it handles 4 sources really well.
Well, now
and
my
then I have a
environment,
key step next to it, so I have a fifth.
I could argue the 4 sources now with this rack of Behringer monosynths I have.
Oh, there you go.
But in the past, I haven't needed like 4 simultaneous as much as just one that has really good, ability to do chains on the fly.
But you have a bunch of don't you have a bunch of EMU stuff though? You could have used with that. We got some multiple sources there.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But if I'm using the EMU, because the EMU's all racked up with that's the Heyo rack. So I got 4 EMUs and the Yamaha and the pair of Matrix 1000s. Yeah. And the MIDI box, I plug them into VCV, and then it sees each of them and everything. But yeah.
Sure, yeah.
So, but the other thing I got is this Behringer BQ10, this little sequencer that's, to me, I think of it as, because in VCV rack, I love this one little sequencer called ADDR SEQ, and it's like 8 knobs, and you can define the voltage range, but you can say, okay, it's only 5 steps or whatever, but it's just a simple pitch, and this thing does 3 of those.
Wow.
So, but it's very simple. It's based on the old Korg SQ10, is it?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The SQ10, which is 12 steps, and this is the BQ10, which is 8 steps.
Did you ever try the SQ64 that they came out with?
I've seen those are tempting. I will say
it's nerdy as hell, but when you dial it in and use it enough, it makes sense.
Well, that's the beauty
at first,
of this little
it's
sucker.
A lot of layers.
Yeah, because if you hook up this BQ to it's perfect with the K2 Mark II, right? The MS-20 clone.
Yeah.
I mean, the videos are basically those 2 units hooked up together and all like that. But it's a lot of fun little sequencer. So I'm having fun with that guy too.
Yeah, sequencers are good.
But
I
I wheeled out because we have our jam session Sunday here, and I've wheeled out the granddaddy of sequencers. I don't know. You tell me. The Korg Karma.
Oh, the Karma's great. You have the Karma keyboard?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one. Yeah,
and
in fact,
I've barely used it, honestly.
Did you
so it's
get
like
you can get the Sound Tower editor for it. It's pretty good. You can do lots of crazy stuff with that editor.
Oh gosh, I'm just diving into it, but playing around with its sequencing.
It's nutty. Plus, I don't know what happened, but I occasionally get lucky at Guitar Center, the used department. They had a Karma there one day. It was like a killer price. And they said, oh, and by the way, there's all this. And it had a bag of like 5 of those cards.
Yeah, I've got one of them in.
And the cards are only like $200 each. And it was almost like they didn't charge me for the cards.
Yeah, wow.
Because they got the synth really cheap and it's in perfect condition. I mean, I like the Karma inside the M3 the best. But the Korg Karma is pretty fun as well.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm gonna take my chances jamming with it, but it seems like it's got enough tactile control of the sequencing and all to be fun.
And it's colorful too. You'll show up in the room. Like,
it's beautiful. It's unique.
No, I like it. I need to use it more. I tucked it away. I don't even know where I put it.
I call it the Puce Goose.
Yeah. But it's kind of crazy because I got like because every one of those cards comes with a floppy, so I have a bag with all this shit that I haven't even looked at yet. It's crazy. I think it's like 5 different cards.
Someday you need to take time and dive into it. I figured like I'll never sell it right now because I've never given it a proper dive, and there's enough going on.
It's good. I would keep it. Yeah, definitely worth keeping because the Karma engine alone is a lot of fun.
Yep.
I know a couple of the motifs had it built in. M3, the Karma itself, and not too many other things. It wasn't a super popular engine, but man, it really is like an insane arpeggiator. It's really
that's the thing is I think it waned because it's unprogrammable almost, but I don't know. I guess you get into it. It's like any of these old stuff is from the 90s era basically, right? So it's
on something like the M3 where you have like a mix of orchestral stuff and layers and all that stuff. The Karma's really good because you can easily go from like some little like snare rolls and little like percussive stuff, and then into some big bombastic percussion, and then into some little cymbal crashes and stuff like that, just on the percussion part. And then you bring in the flutes, and you bring in the strings, and you bring in the horn sections, and it's really nuts.
Yep.
So for orchestral stuff, it's really like you can make really good band in a box kind of soundtracky stuff. That's why I bought the M3 originally, just to. As I started making more videos, I go, I get tired of making music all the time, completely from scratch. It takes too long before I learn the hardware jam tricks and stuff.
Sure.
And so the M3 will be great because I can go in and tweak the hell out of some stuff that already came with it and make it my own, and it will still sound good because it's like good quality instruments and stuff. But
so
Almost there, guys. 2 minutes.
no worries. So in the meantime, though, the jam session from last month, I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. We have a channel here we've created called Synth Stop, 2 words, for local shows. And
Nice.
so the Electronic Music Production Society group.
This is you and Garen?
Garen and Jeff, although that little doggy there behind him supposedly was his excuse for skipping mass.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
So,
Clean it, dog.
but Jeff's become a regular, and Garen and.
So it's mostly the 3 of you, or are there more people?
Oh no, there'll be 6 of us Sunday supposedly, and.
All playing at once?
Yep, we basically just we're not. No, what we do is we all plug in, sort of tune up, if you will, and then we pick a key and a BPM, and it's off we go. And typically, I'll start a sequence going, and then somebody will jump in with a bass line. And when Carl is around, he typically brings his deluge and gives us the percussion/drum parts.
Okay.
And he said he's going to be here Sunday, so we'll have Carl on drums. But we have basically just jump in and our tracks go maybe 10 minutes at most, and then we all sort of stop and look at each other and laugh. And I record it all with VCV Rack, and then I mix it down on the back end afterwards. And Jeff has loaned me a lovely video camera here that you can see, so I can record the whole show, or the whole jam
schnitzels of it.
session.
Nice.
And then piece that together with the soundtrack, and so that's what we get. We get like 6 tracks, almost an hour's worth of tracks total. So good time.
To record in VCV Rack just incoming audio, does it take a lot of modules or not really?
Nope. All I have is basically I take the audio module is the main thing coming in, and I have one of these Arturia Rig 16s. Okay. So we all plug into that, and then that feeds into VCV, and I feed it into the mixer, but I don't have any equalization or anything. So everything's just raw signal, basically. And then the mixer, I can, with polyphonic cables, I can feed to a poly recording module that can record up to basically 16 stereo channels, so 32 tracks. But depending on what you feed it, so I'm feeding it, 8 stereo channels typically. And it just records, all 16 tracks as stereo pairs. And then on the back end, I have a sampler. The same guy has a sampler that I can bring in, and that's basically the 16-track recorder playback unit.
Nice.
And play them back, and then I process them. And, mostly I'm not doing any production as far as effects and all, but it's gain staging, and equalization. And I've been.
I bought
these
one
days.
of those multi-track things a while back. It's a little box. I forgot the brand, but it does 8 stereo, I think, and has a little USB stick in there that records all the high-quality multi-track.
Oh,
and
gosh.
it's a little box that sits on top of your mixer. And I bought it because I used to have friends come over and jam a lot.
Brilliant.
And it's pretty cool because, simultaneously. We never went back and did any editing on it, but it's there if you want to.
I looked hard for something that records exactly that. I want to stick a USB stick in an audio interface and grab the raw tracks.
They're not common.
One unit I found that actually had that and is quality and all like that, the company went out of business with lockdown.
Probably the one I bought. That's probably that one.
There's something like Cymatics, U-Matic.
Cymatic,
24.
that's it. Cymatic.
Cymatic. Oh, it looked brilliant.
Yeah, I have the smaller Cymatic. There's the bigger rack mount one I don't have.
Right. And they're designed for, they're like playback systems, right? So if you want to have, ambience, whatever, playing back in your... Yep.
Are you ready?
Well, that's one, but how much in need are you of a mixer?
In need?
Because many, including the affordable digital mixers nowadays come with that function. You can record at least the cheapest ones is just left and right. The master will record into a thumb drive, including the XR18 from Behringer and the XR6. I think they call it 16.
But it won't do all the tracks separately, right?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. With the Behringer, you got 16 inputs individually. It will I think it will.
No, but you want to keep
record.
them discrete channels, though. That's the problem.
Right.
It
So, like,
will
Jeff,
it
you have the
will
task
record left and right to the thumb right and through USB to any computer.
I'm
16
talking about
tracks
without a
in.
computer. This thing by itself would do discrete
Yeah.
channels. It was great.
Yeah.
You need to go more expensive than that one. I need to do. On Behringer, you need to go to the XR32 to be able to record 16 tracks out of it. Individual that you can then post production.
It's annoying. It's like the TR8 Roland drum machine, the special TR8 one before the TR8S came out, and it can only do multiple outs and rerouting effects through USB. You can't do it with built-in outputs.
Yes.
Jeff, what your
Sucks.
Tascam does? Your Tascam records.
Yeah. It records everything on this SD card, individual tracks and the mix.
But is that at 10 mono channels?
It's
My point is more expensive than the
there's
Behringers.
2 stereo, there's 2 line-in channels, and 6 mono channels. And it
And
records all of those, all 12.
and that is in the section of what? 1100, 1200?
Recording deck. It's a Tascam.
Yeah, but it's in the price range, 1200, 1300.
No, it was pretty expensive.
That's my point. That's the point I'm trying to make. If you want to go cheaper, you can have left and right or USB out individual with Behringers. The XR18 is probably $500 after taxes.
Yeah, that's probably what that one was. For one it
Cool.
is,
So-
expensive.
Yeah, I
Let's
found
see
a
what we
Cymatic
have.
Audio LR16. That's the one I have.
Yep.
Little
I was
box,
looking at
really
those,
cool.
and I was looking at the 24. They have some model
Yeah.
24, and it looked like it had, because it wasn't quite an audio interface. And
No.
I'm like, well, I can live without an audio interface if I can record the data,
Exactly.
because then I just feed the data into the computer.
I
and
just
I'm
want
not-
to turn it on and go. And then
Yeah,
just-
exactly. And I wanted the portability because we were still doing the jams. Sometimes we'd have it at the old site. We would meet up and stuff. And
Check the latest Zoom mixer recorders. The portable mixers, I think even battery rechargeable batteries, they do multi-track recording into SD card. I think.
yeah,
Remember, like the one that Ian Cole has.
okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And I think it's in the $300 mark.
Yeah, they're aimed at hardware jam type people, so yeah.
I got it covered
So-
now. I've got a laptop with Linux on it and the Linux free version of
Linux?
VCV rack. So that's my recorder.
God, you're brave.
And then my
Is
my
VC Rack the
Arturia
same
plug-
on Linux, or is it a reduced one?
Nope, same.
Same one, okay.
As far as I know,
Yeah,
if you're going
they-
to produce a module within VCV's library, it has to support all 3 platforms
Okay.
and have various things checked off. So they won't.
To my knowledge, they did it like that from version 1.0. They did it 3 platforms all at the same time.
It is great.
Probably
I used
because
we did
the
we did
Windows
this show in
is based on
November,
Linux.
and I used it. I'm sorry. The show in August that I performed at. That's when I just built the machine, and I used it and basically had, 3 different patches from VCV Rack, and they were mapped to my key step 37, and the knobs were controlling parameters, and basically the keyboard were the mutes and fades on the mixer. I wasn't actually playing notes. I was playing tracks and channels and stuff. So.
Yeah, Linux stuff is fine. Ramsey, we did that show a while back with Ramsey doing Linux audio tools. It was fun.
Well,
There's a lot of
and the
good
thing
stuff
is, there's, I know you can wrap your VST, so you can theoretically, anything's available. But just in the Linux world, for example, Audio Thing, all their plugins are VST. And there's a few other nice libraries like that where they make Linux versions of their.
Yeah, there's some good DAWs on Linux as well. So.
And the DAWs, yeah, but VCV is my DAW, so I'm happy there. And I only care about the free version. I don't need the paid one.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yep.
I have it on the iPad, the MyRack.
Oh, the MyRack.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I do too. I don't have the patience to do. I work a VCV rack on a 65-inch screen, so anything smaller, even like the Meta module, I start to play with it, and I'm like, no, this is too frustrating.
I just zoom in all the time.
But yeah,
zoom in, play with
to.
it, zoom back out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, the thing to do is to build up a collection of like really useful patches, sequencers, effects processors, whatever, and then dial them up as needed. That's it. So.
Yeah.
Sounding good.
Is a harmonica?
There it is.
It's very responsive. You dialed it in.
This is one of the fast ones.
It's like a 90s rompler.
Let me fire up my TX-81Z for some lately bass.
Yeah.
And the it's on the Proteus 2, right? That's Whistling Joe.
So I've used Proteus 1, 2, and 3, but I had the Proteus Protozoa ROM for the command station.
Okay.
Which has all the Proteus original on one ROM.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think
Because some things.
I think honestly for the Proteus line, any individual sound is okay. It's not going to change your life.
Some are excellent though.
And some are excellent and unique and all like that. Absolutely. But it's the layering of them together.
Yeah.
That's the secret sauce. And
especially the world ROM, it's had some amazing sounds on it.
Yep, the world. That was the first one I got, was the world. And
Any petitions?
Sorry?
Any petitions? Any sound you're interested?
Picks
what
up
are you
weird.
going to play?
Weird. Let's go for
it's a
all
weird
the-
synthy thing.
So weird. Can you play your volume knob versus attack as well? Does it respond to that?
This can be mapped to, I think it's something like 78 destinations.
No, I'm saying you're like when
your strings,
you hit
your
a
actual
note,
strings.
you have attack, but if you have the volume all the way down, and you know how you do where you pluck and then bring the volume up.
Yeah, but I have to map it. At the moment, this
you have to map. You have to create that.
because that is on the rocker pedal on the unit. But now the unit's on the table, so I cannot actuate it with my foot. Okay. If I was on top of it, I could do the swell. I could do any type of swells. Problem is,
isn't the guitar audio coming through a patch cord through the GR module, or is it actually all coming from that one pickup?
But that's the catch. You're not hearing the guitar sound in this patch. There's no guitar in this patch. Even what sounds like a bass guitar.
So we're hearing it through your microphone, or what is that?
Probably.
The clank, that's through the microphone.
Okay.
That's extremely compression on a microphone, on a directional microphone. It's so gained up that sounds like an omnidirectional.
So real quick, just mute your mic real quick and play. I just want to hear what the sound is.
So that's just the unit.
is this the kind of sound that the Fractal could do as well, or is this totally unique?
I don't know.
I only asked because my old guitar buddy, when he had the axe and would do stuff like this, and I wasn't sure like what level is effect versus actual synthesis, whatever going on with that box. But to me, it seemed to be the same kind of thing. You plug guitar in and you get, whatever you dial up out.
Yeah, this sounds. There you go. Can you do some like string runs and bends just to hear the reaction? I want to hear
What do you mean?
Bend the strings and go up and down the strings to hear the reaction. Expression. That's good.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. Let me see. He's going full on Pat Metheny.
Now that is when because it's not fine tuned. That's when it goes a little weird. I'm putting the microphone on purpose because I'm playing this and you're hearing this other thing.
Yeah, we can hear that. Yeah, it was coming
but
through.
Not the twang.
all you get,
Yeah, no metallic-y bits, but yeah.
It's sort
but
of
it's
There are a
also
few
the
missed
note
triggers.
tracking.
Yeah, the little missed triggers there. But
Because I still needs to tweak how much is too much, how little is too little, to tell the unit, no, that crazy, a little more this way. And that's what takes, not months because it's day in, day out, no, but it's because it's tweak, go and put it on a real situation, then, write down, this is not working, tweak again, go back, go in. It's a process. It's not instant.
and you can save a few profiles, right? So you can experiment.
Oh yeah. If I got one guitar, I can write 10 different profiles for the same guitar, same pickup, same everything.
So if you like the wonky on certain songs, you could turn the wonky on, and then
Totally, yeah. That's accidentally that's an option. It's not by the will of Roland. They never meant it. They intended to be like that, because the purpose is. One of the drawbacks of this technology is that you have to apply a pickup that is not cheap. It's not as expensive of custom-made standard magnetic pickups for guitars, because those things nowadays are going like 600 to 900 quid for 2 pickups, right? Or $1,000 for 3 pickups. This is stupid, okay? But it's still a couple hundred quid, and if you want a spare, you need the same guitar with the same strings, the same tuning, the same body, the same resonance. You need two pickups. Thankfully, and I said, when I said that I've never seen the unit crash before, I meant it. You can plug and replug the guitars hot. You can do hot swapping of guitars. You don't need to reboot or reset or anything. I've never seen it crash before. Right? Now it crashed because it was fighting the USB shit.
Well, yeah.
but you do have to reboot for bass or guitar mode, right?
Yes. You need to do the whole sequence, and you need to go to the profile of the actual guitar you're using, because it doesn't default to the last profile, default to the first profile. As I said, until I found if there is a setting, because trust me, this is deep as heck. I just showed you 3 tabs of one of the second layer menus. I haven't even got into the 4th layer menus.
I know you covered it way more than Gaz Williams did. He only did one show on it where he went through some of the menus, But he gave up after a while, so he.
Yeah, but Gus William is having new tech every week.
But he spent a lot of time on the GR-55 though. He did several shows on it. Yeah.
Because there's a lot. It's frustrating. There's too many shortcomings. It could do so much if they only did, or if they only tweak it, or if they just didn't.
But he was also using that special software. He was using a third-party software for it too. So
the editor, you mean?
Yeah.
But that the only thing that the editor does is to make visual what is a nightmare to swim in that window, because it's you talk menu diving, you don't know menu diving until you try to do this thing, because even the effects
Roland products
or most Roland products, but even the effects are layers upon layers, contextually linked to your previous decisions. So you learn by the book, oh, I have this option, I want to go and tweak this option. You go to the screen and it's not there. And you don't know why it's not there.
That's what Rich Hilton always called the ship in the bottle effect, where you have all this cool stuff in there, but you're going through this little tiny window and,
Yes.
You're giving me cold sweats here, reminding me of a time when I was writing user manuals for software that had contextual menus.
Yes.
So you had to take a picture of, okay, in this case you get these options, exactly what you saw. In this case you get these ones.
Not fun. Check this. Let me mute you for a second.
What were you tweaking there?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
That's the patch.
Wow.
Oh, but...
So you were tweaking the knob on that little control box?
No. I just send the handler because, like every floor unit, you get options that you can turn on and off or modify on the patch itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so this parameters is like the faders on a keyboard, or the cutoff wheel on a keyboard. They give you, and that's another shortcoming of 55. It only comes with a on-off switch, a foot stomp, that it could be mappable, and only comes with one rocker expression pedal with a switch. That's all you have to control a unit that is 4 parts multitimbral, all of them with individual effects that could be mapped separately, and the synth engines, 2PCM and the COSM, each sound set just for that engine is anything between 11 to 25 parameters.
We need a MIDI footboard with a bunch of switches on it.
Exactly. The problem is every other Roland before it and any Boss unit comes with external expression connections or extra stomp box switches that you just plug through a 1/4-inch connection. In this thing, the only way to access extra control is through the 5-pin MIDI.
Yeah,
or
Keith
USB
McMillan
MIDI.
sells a little board with a bunch of buttons on it for foot control of MIDI stuff.
I have a little board just with expression pedals in order to control, because what I'm going to be doing is one of the songs, the one I'll be doing on guitar, I'm basically harmonizing the guitar with extra instruments. I got 4 extra expression control pedals just so I can control volume and panning of the extra instrument individually. That's 3 rockers already. And it's all going through MIDI.
You're playing that upcoming show, right?
Yeah.
Not just having your stuff as a demo, but you're actually going on stage.
Exactly.
Wow.
Well, in fact, my band is going on stage.
Oh, okay.
But this time it's HCO. The other band is not ready yet.
So it's basically me. We had the husband and wife.
Apparently, up to this day, they haven't managed to find a steady replace bass player.
Of course, because they're a nightmare.
They're still gigging, sort of. But
well, look, anyone can find a gig somewhere. I mean, I there's some good players up at the San Francisco thing I go to once in a while, and stuff. But there's some pretty wacky people up there. You can always find a venue to get something played. So,
for instance, talking about real-time control, this one is using the Stonebox and the expression pedal. So let's see if with my hands I can show you, because this is what it's doing on its own. You see, that's an example of what I do about the filter in the rumble. When I go to the low B, you see that the performance of the synth is not the same. Listen to this. I'm going to do high notes and then go all the way low. But then I go to the more mid-ranging. Oh, that is the whole string. So that in itself is telling me, unless it's something in the patch, which I don't think so, it's telling me that I need to raise the sensitivity of this string. It's not triggering right. And it's weird because I thought I had it already cranked.
So are you familiar with the bass that Phil Lesh played with when the Grateful Dead were in the Wall of Sound era?
No.
It was an alembic bass that was heavily modified, so it had all these buttons on it and controls. So I think in the video he talks about how it was he could pick like what collection of speaker stacks for the sound to come out of, so it was more for that. But I'm just like, if you can have, 20 buttons of control right on your bass, that's what you want.
Technically, I have already, because this is all. Well, this is a 2-cut active preamp. It's basically.
But you don't have anything tactile. Like all these switches you're talking about, you want to be able to switch things on and off. If you had that right on the bass as a little tap button.
Yes, but Nuba. There's a new act. I think they call Nova Twins. There's two. I think they claim they're siblings, but they don't look anything like each other. The most thing they have in common is I think they're both mixed race. Apart from that, and
you mean like the White Stripes?
No, but this time is guitar and bass player, synth guitar and synth bass player, and the synth and the bass player uses very, very profusely one of those modulation rings. So he's playing notes and suddenly starts wobbling. Means you either start playing on your fretboard legato while wobbling, or you need to stop playing. It's fine and dandy when you write your music around that, but when you try to integrate that in music that you wrote beforehand, it's counterproductive. That's one of the reasons why those things don't really sell by the millions, because only few people are willing to give up the playing for the performing, if you know what I mean.
Right.
It's
so you need a D-beam so you can have your head doing this while both hands are in the...
Well, so what was that thing that I posted from the NAMM show that was the guitar strap?
The one on the strap?
Yeah, he pulled a strap and it's a pitch bender. right?
It's the same. No, in
Or
fact,
the
that one
expression
is
or whatever.
yeah.
But it's like to
That
do
one
that,
is
you have to hold everything else down to control that, right? It's either you're controlling that or you're playing these.
yes, but no. Basically, the only thing you have to do on guitar is, to me, it would be way harder because my guitar technique is thumb behind, but most of American players and big-handed players, they're happy doing guitar thumb above. If you already have this technique, that thing is a God given because all you have to do is hold whatever note you're doing, and with your thumb pull down, and you have your expression.
So your thumbs are good.
This hand doesn't stop, this hand doesn't stop, and you have one to go. The problem is people like me, we play like this. I got no traction unless one of these hands stops and goes around and picks down.
You need an assistant to pull your neck down with that.
Also, the other thing that I didn't...
They also sell the neck buddy.
Yeah.
It attaches your neck to their neck. So you can
Tie a rope from the neck to your foot, and you can pull it down.
Pull it with the foot, yeah. But for that, it wouldn't be just easy to have an expression pedal. No, what to me was the real bad idea, and that thing is that made it Bluetooth.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to work on stages. As in, I don't think it's going to work in any club stage with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi.
I mean, it'd be a mixed bag, but it probably won't work most of the time. But yes.
But even less on a professional professional stage where everybody is on wireless in ears. Most of the guitar players are on wireless transmitters and receivers. Most of the singers are on wireless microphones. And suddenly you try to put a very short range expression module for one. I don't see it happen.
Well, it's like the RF wireless guitars. Remember the scene in Spinal Tap at the Air Force Base?
Yeah, but thankfully, by punishment, as in fines, as in having to pay if you don't abide the rules and regulations had fixed that long ago, I mean 30 years ago. Because, for instance, I think it's a little more free and a little more wild west in America, but in UK, you only have two bandwidths that you can use. One you can use for free, means it's crowded as fuck, and one that you only can use paying. And even if you're paying for the pay for and you go beyond that frequency and get caught, I think they were talking about £10,000 fine.
Now they make you pay for your TV. You got to pay for your Wi-Fi. You got to pay.
Gotta pay for your wireless guitar on stage. Yeah. Yes, you do.
Wow.
The back arguments is you can either pay very nicely, as in not really very dearly, for a yearly subscription to the bandwidth, or you can pay just by the gig. You can pay the day before. Basically, you buy next day's allowance to use that bandwidth. And it will hold you a whole 24 hours.
This is one of those things that I feel the cost of administering this process does not make the collection of the monies worthwhile.
Yeah.
Just open it up. Like toll roads. Just open the roads up. It's just not worth collecting the money. But
yeah, until you see millions and millions of pounds going through. Then,
millions of pounds from guitar players? I don't know.
Yes.
Well, see, now with the toll bridges here and stuff, they have those auto sensors, so there is no administration. No more booth takers.
So let's see if I crank the sensitivity for that string alone. Let's see if it does fixes. Better? Yes, just a tad. It needs one extra oomph.
Do you have some patches where because you have two synth patches and one PCM, right? Is that how it works?
No, you have two PCMs and a custom DSP processor.
So do you have a way while you're playing to turn things on and off at will without any special setup, or do you have to have a bunch of shit hooked up to it?
Yes, but once again, have you ever had any multi-effects by Boss or Roland or any floor unit?
Sure. Yeah.
There's a concept that is basically applied MIDI. The Roland master is called assign parameters. Basically, you have one triggers 1, 2, 3, 4. In this case, it's basically 3 trigger. Well, in fact, 5, because you can count those 2 switches and this wheel for most of that. Also,
you can mute on the fly with those. So you go to like a solo mode, and then bring in the whole stack, and then go back to a solo mode.
For a start, if you make a patch including your pickups, this switch jumps between the standards and the MIDI.
Okay.
So that's your first layer of, have a switch, fly very quickly, jump from one to the other. You're not shutting anything. You're not shutting the synth. You're just not sending signal to it.
Yeah.
And same for the guitar. You're not shutting the guitar. You're just not sending signal to it. Means that you don't even have to have on the delays tailgate mode engage, because you're not shutting the unit. You're just not sending signal, right? So that's your first. Then the switches on the control unit could be turning things on and off, because what a switch cannot do is to modulate gradually something, but you have on and off option.
Yeah, it's a mute switch. Yeah.
You could do mutes, you could do timbres, you could even do not patch change, which I think even can be done, but the PCM engines, you need to first choose the tone. As in, this PCM engine is going to be playing a piano.
Yeah.
I can change that piano for a flute with a switch in a click.
Yeah.
Right? I can do that. I can, as I'm doing with extra controllers or with this control. So my point is, the assign paradigm is 8 parameters that can be assigned to the same trigger if you want. So my rocker could be on heel position, shutting down the first PCM, but maxing up the second PCM. On toe, reverse, because this motion controls PCM 1 and this motion controls PCM 2. So I can put them opposite. When one comes in, the other comes out, right? But I also, thanks to MIDI and the way they work, is I can also choose that in the fading, I can turn on distortion from, so heel is 45 degrees, toe is horizontal, but I can choose any point in between to select a range of that, a chunk of that range to do something specifically. So from middle to toe, I can also increase the delay. And from half middle to half toe, I can also increase the frequency of the phaser.
Right. So the
limit is 8 parameters per patch.
The Raspberry Pi thing you were talking about earlier that you were working on, that little box, could you make a touchscreen for that and have certain things turn on and off with that mounted to the guitar?
First of all, I wasn't talking about it.
No,
that
Guitar
was
Fool.
Guitar Fool.
Yeah, Guitar Fool. Yeah.
I don't know why you would mount it on the guitar.
So you have
to have a
touch it while you're playing
for modulation.
To turn things on and off and.
No, the reason why I put it in the Raspberry Pi with a touch screen is for programming it ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I mean to use it as a MIDI controller. Would you ever do that?
I wouldn't. You could.
Yeah, because you can make custom to your size and your requirements, not some off-the-shelf thing that may not work. You know.
Yeah, you could do that, but I mean that's not what I got it for.
No, I get it. Yeah, but I mean that's something Eddie could use at this thing, right? You could.
Yeah.
But the thing again is.
But I mean a ribbon controller.
When you talk, remember that when you talk guitar, your music is made by both hands.
Yeah.
Using any of the hands to do something else means that the music is gonna suffer. So you tend not to.
But look at all the guys who have shit all over their guitar who do that, though. There are plenty of guys, even Tom Morello, and a bunch of other people.
And I don't understand that.
I show you my Thunderbird. My Thunderbird has a Chaos pad on top. That's the idea.
Diva used to actually mount guitar pedals on their guitars. You know.
Yeah.
Hello, Chaos pad.
Yeah. Exactly.
I put a fucking Chaos pad on a Thunderbird bass. I do, but that specific guitar is to play specific songs written around that. If I want to play any other thing or even cover songs, I cannot use because my hands are gonna be busy, very busy doing proper music.
If you play this way and you have a thumb free, couldn't you have it by the thumb and you can use the thumb?
You don't. You don't have a thumb free ever. No, on bass, your thumb is your traction. The thumb is always in position, otherwise you don't find the strings. On guitar, your thumb is your pick.
No, if you're doing without a pick. You know, some people play this way.
Then that is your bass. Yeah. The thumb is your bass. That's the problem with controllers.
You could give up a bass string temporarily to do the little effect. I don't know. Because you only have two hands, so you know.
Like you put controllers on the keyboard instrument.
Clearly, you have to have it mounted on the backside.
Well, like on a Rolling keyboard, you don't need it. You have it in the keys themselves. But
that's a key. On a keyboard, one hand can do all the music. Yeah. That's why the other hand can roam free to do whatever.
Yeah. Right, but because it has the expression, you can still be playing the notes and do that. But
that's why there's still guitar. And that's why they're still fetching the ideal marriage for guitar players, the product that will convince and suit them all to be able to actually play guitar and modulate effects at the same time. They haven't found it yet. Go.
You Velcro your smartphone to your guitar, and you get the Holland.ist app.
Oh, Hollandist is cool. Yeah.
It takes all sorts of biometrics and gyroscopic metrics.
Yeah, weather patterns, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Anything, and converts it to MIDI.
It's cool stuff. Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Until it starts raining, or you get a
really
drop
cool.
on you.
No, that's.
In fact, you could have it record your body biometric stuff while you're playing guitar, run around stage, and use that as modulation.
Yeah, there's a guy called Sensien.
Your heart rate goes up.
Sensien is a YouTuber who is sort of behind it, and he is. In the past, he posted videos of him using it.
You can't really see it here too well. There's two programs. There's Holland and Hollandist. Holland has built-in sounds, and Hollandist is actual just MIDI data from this and that.
Synthetic. You just volunteer to perform a demo of that in a future show.
I haven't used it for a while, but it's very cool.
I don't care.
He does it on his channel.
Well, Andy, you probably have an Apple Watch, right?
No.
Not yet. I will.
Oh, no.
I don't do Apple.
The whole thing is if you had an Apple Watch, it'll read data from that. So that's why I say it's your biometrics. So your
you could read the biometrics. You could also use this for movement.
Yep.
And it also tracks your if you have the special earbuds from Apple, it'll track your head movement and turn that into data.
It's ridiculous.
Guys, you keep forgetting I don't do Apple. Never do, never will.
That's fine. You're missing out.
I didn't say it had to be your phone. I just said a smartphone.
Yeah, I mean, if you do have a smartphone.
If you want to talk about Apple's ethics, all computer companies are shit. So.
Oh my God.
No. Ethics. I don't even get into Apple ethics. I only get into Apple prices.
No, they're not all bad. Look at that new laptop they came out with. It's
no, they're just double than everybody else's. Yeah. They're not that bad.
Yeah.
They sell you the same thing twice as expensive. So why?
No, not always. That's the old days. Total cost of ownership. Ask the average Windows person who doesn't know how to do anything with their computer, but they buy it because it's cheap and it's popular. Total cost of ownership for most Windows users is way up because they have to get somebody to help them. They don't know how to do shit on their laptops.
Sure.
Apple makes it much easier to use. It always has.
Okay. All right.
I mean, go to a beginner like a grandpa. Really. Grandpa, give them a Mac. They'll figure it out much easier than a PC. It's just the way it is.
Okay. Possibly.
And my attitude is if they're ignorant, I
still can't afford it.
Zero, just get them onto Linux and Unix.
Yeah, exactly. Then they want to kill themselves.
And virtual modular for music. Come on, just start at the top
Then you'll come home and they'll be hanging from a rope, so that. So.
Oh, bollocks! Did I close this one?
Hey.
But anyway, so that there is cool stuff like that as well. In fact, go to Sensient. Go to Sensient's YouTube channel. He does really cool modular stuff, and most of the modular stuff is driven by this app.
Yeah.
And it's taking weather data, the position of the moon, a bunch of shit, and doing all this crazy. It's really fun.
Create the list of parameters that comes out of the box because it's stuff that's in the world it can get from the internet. And then if you have like your Apple Watch, then it can read that data. And then you can
take
bring
the
in
accelerometer data for your phone too, because your phone's also moving, right? So he goes for a bike ride and rides around town, and all the movement of his phone is translated to data. He puts that through his computer, through his synths.
Ah, but that's not real time.
Well, no, you can, but he doesn't have a modular thing on his bike.
Yeah, obviously,
So
that's what I mean.
You got to take it home for that, but it will record the data and use it later, or you can do it live.
Once again, as an experiment, as a fun happening, yes. As a steady professional musician way of doing things, no.
But think Laurie Anderson would have done this, you know?
Who?
Somebody who's... Laurie Anderson would have done shit like this if she had it back in the 80s.
Is that the lady who did the percussion suit?
She did everything, yeah. Drum pants, she did... watch her Home of the Brave concert on YouTube from 1985, I think it is. It's a wicked concert. Okay. It's all kinds of alternative percussion, drum pants, electric, MIDI violin, all bunch of other stuff. It's really crazy.
But once again, as I said,
she did a concert for dogs once, where the whole thing was played at frequencies only dogs could hear.
And none of them left?
No, they're just like...
Really?
It's a real thing. Check it out. It's a real thing.
Yeah. No, I believe you.
Concert for dogs.
Sadly, that on the big scheme of things, on the music world,
it sounds like cat music.
It probably did sound like crap, but they still kind of check it out.
No, I'm with Paul. That sounds like cat music.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that is very nice until you find one single person that can actually perform what everybody understands as beautiful music with the tech. Then the tech gets upgraded to be actually feasible on stage touring.
Sure. But you have to start somewhere, and if you're tired of the same old shit, why not?
Remember Bjork and the reactive table?
I mean, look at when
this is my start.
Yeah, reactive.
And I'm already cruising this desert.
But imagine the first guitar synths and how shitty they were, and people still broke the ground. So.
Ooh, that's a conversation that I thought we already had in previous episodes. Funny you say that, because obviously the first one, as in the ARP Avatar, was really crappy, because I think it only worked with one guitar player.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, you have one?
360.
What?
The 360.
Oh, he was just showing that earlier. That's pretty cool. Check this out. This blue box. I've never heard of it before.
I've heard of 360 system.
CV Gate. What's that? CV Gate thing from Guitar.
Yep. Yeah, it's the system 360 systems slave driver. There's a guy back in the 70s, Timo, that used a whole bank of these. But you plug your guitar in the back, and it's CV and Gate. And
do you have a video of that on your channel?
Huh?
Do you have a video of that on the channel? Are you playing that anywhere? I'd like to see it.
That thing's 50 years old.
Oh, it doesn't work anymore?
I'm sure it works. But
dude, you should do a video or do a live demo next time.
It's obsolete as hell.
We'll do it on a future show.
Yeah, you gotta use that.
The thing is, the first GRs, the 300 and 500, they work better in regards of latency.
I thought GR1 was the first. I have a GR1.
No, GR1 is one of the latest.
Better one? Okay.
Once again, Roland and their naming schemes. No.
Exactly.
To my knowledge, the first floor unit was the GR300, which was still with the almost SeaTac side connector and a cable the size of your wrist to connect the guitar, and only could work with that specific guitar. Same with the GR300, which in fact that's the patch. Well, I was trying to trick this, but it's not gonna happen.
It's like the Link Keytar. The Link Keytar had a custom module interface, And you could only use link with link. You couldn't use anything else.
This patch I found before.
Well, Jeff, you said you have a Matrix, right? Matrix 6?
Yeah,
I have a Matrix 6.
So you can.
1000.
Are you planning to test your box out with your Matrix?
What box?
The one you're building. The MIDI splitter.
I mean, I don't need it for that. I can just do that with my Axon.
Oh, does that do 6-channel out?
So, this patch is called Flange GR-500. So it's meant to be the sound of GR-500 because for this they're not using the PCM engine, they're using the COSM engine, which is the closest they have because of latency. And you get this.
Turn off your mic.
That's cool.
Yeah.
To be true, in fact, this is using both engines. I'm going to tell you in a second.
How does that compare with the Axon performance?
It's lower and more and less accurate.
Yeah.
Once again, Axon was to my knowledge, that's my knowledge and my experience. Please correct me because I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. The Axon project was to SynthStar what Betamax was to videotaping. Was the superior system with the higher quality, but the cheaper, more widespread, more affordable system wiped it off the market, basically. Roland wiped it off. The Axon didn't got the enough backend quick enough
Is
to
Axon a
fund
custom pickup, or is it a...
It's the same pickup as Roland.
Okay.
In fact, I think they were using Roland pickups. They never, did they ever?
They have their own pickups, and it's interesting. The GR3 pickups look an awful lot like the Axon.
Ah.
They were probably OEMs from the same factory in the same molding.
Yeah.
If you can only get the Axon box, can you use the GR3 pickup with the Axon box?
I do.
That's how I use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Funky enough, I can use my GK-3 pickups with my Yamaha unit. Everything is 13-pin based, is fairly mostly compatible, except for instance, my Yamaha unit cannot do upside down pickups, only can do a standard order. So that setting I show that GR-55 can do, because basically let's try to showcase. So
What's the basic price of an Axon unit? Like if you want to buy an Axon now used or something like that, what would be the price?
Anything from giving away because they don't have in which rubbish bin to put it, from I don't know, for a 100 with sounds, $500, $600 for the one you rack with sounds, with sound engines. What do you say, Guitar Fool?
Or maybe.
Check eBay one day.
And they're worth it? They're definitely worth it?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, I wouldn't pay anything beyond $500 for it. But once again, Axon released now I learned thanks to Guitar Fool 3 tiers of the product. The conversion engine is the same. Is then how they do apply it and what extra goodies they give you with it that changes. The lowest tier is the AX50, is the one I have, is like sound canvas, one you hide, half you wide, and it has nothing but patch number screen on the external. All the editing needs to be done through the computer. Okay, so no twiddling the unit itself, impossible. Then you have in one you high, one you wide, the full engine with all the programming and the screen, which I think is the one that Guitar Fool has, right?
The AX100.
And then you had the AX100 or another number, I know probably the 150.
AX100 SB or something like that. It had the sound module.
Which was the same conversion capabilities and editing in the unit, plus, what was that, PCM based sample
I have
module?
no idea. I didn't get that one.
Basically, you also get sounds in it. So the full package, all you needed basically was the guitar, because they would sell you the whole packet.
I see. AX100 blue chip, $650. Is that a good price?
I don't think it's a good price. It's not a bad price.
Yeah.
In dollars.
So the company was Blue Chip.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the product was Axon. Because I'm reading an old Sound on Sound, and there's an Axon DAW review in there, and there's like, well, I've never heard of that. It's one of those, like 15, 20 years ago it came out and then disappeared a year later.
Yeah, fluent.
And I was wondering if it's related to kind of thing. But yeah.
And I think then, because the unit I have is not, well, it is Axon because that's kind of the product, but it's Teratech. Yeah. And I think it was the company who bought the IP right when the company was about to bankrupt. And they managed to elongate the product in the as in kind of having a second lease or a second go at trying to make it famous.
That's another brand. In fact, they're reviewed in the same magazine issue, and that's another brand that, like in that era, they were coming out with all sorts of products and stuff, and then poof, they're gone.
Yeah.
Teratech.
Too much investment, too little revenue.
Well, 2008, basically.
So, try to follow here. If this is the standard synthetic screen, look at the screen.
I am.
Okay.
My
this
laptop's over here, so.
Yeah, I'm the same way. You're right there to me, Eddie.
My camera's there. My laptop's there. So
am I the only one who's looking straight at your fucking eyes?
Well, I always have to stare like this, and then I can't see the screen. So
what's the TV shows where they go, look at me in the eyes.
So this is a standard pickup. On the guitar case, the cable to the control unit comes here, because technically this would be your 6-string pickup, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that is a standard position, a standard. How to call it? A standard. That's the original design. A standard everything, okay? Then, on the guitar, the second option they gave you is to mount it like this, with the cable coming underneath the bridge to the control unit. But then, the 6 magnet goes to the first string, and that's what they call reversed.
Yeah.
The Yamaha unit does not have this option. You only can have the pickups in a standard.
That's
both
very
pickups.
Very clever of them.
Because they never. Roland, once again, I think, I deduce, I extrapolate, Roland did this because too many people had problems of sweat oxidizing, rotting, and breaking the cable from the pickup to the control unit, because your hand. So what?
It was probably blood, not sweat.
Blood and tears.
Some cases both, yeah.
Also, maybe they don't want the cable that direction, right? Sometimes you don't want the cables.
No. The original complaint was that because of the sweat was oxidizing the contacts and getting into the pickup, they stopped working, or some strings stopped working, which is even worse. That's why some people asking, why can't we put the cable away from the hand, which is sweating? And that's why Roland said, okay, the new units, the new floor units who do the conversion are going to be able to swap around, right? Yamaha never stood in the market long enough to get to this point. Yamaha disappeared from the 13-pin technology before they got to this reverse point.
They just gave up on the sweat problem.
Well, just do what Prince did later in his career. Prince played in the dark. He hated lights on him, so he'd always play in the dark. So turn the lights off, you won't sweat.
Or get LEDs now. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not talk about LEDs.
So
Well,
Eddie, let me ask you: do you feel
please.
what percentage are you ready for Synth Southwest with your rig there?
50.
50%.
50.
When is it?
Yeah. 50 is
2 weeks.
Yeah, I
2
don't know.
weeks.
Well,
But I
in
mean,
fact, it's
But when you say 50%, you've done a lot of things that are like it could have ruined the whole gig, right? The technical electronics and all. You're down to like configuring, fine tuning your pickup, and then creating your set, whatever, right? Basically.
no. So the set is done because it's one of my songs.
Okay.
My band partner is one of his songs, so I am learning his,
Okay.
he's
So
learning
you got
mine.
two endpoints. You've got your set, and you are here with your bass, and you get it.
And the third song is a cover, so we're both learning it, and
Okay.
it's a very simple one. And in fact, for the cover, and unless the technology stabs me in the back, for the cover I'm going to be using the guitar.
What are you playing with the cover?
Cars.
Ooh.
So for
You're
that one,
doing
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to pull the guitar for that one, if I can manage to put the
I always
sounds
wanted to
inside
meet
the
Greg
sampler.
Hawkes,
Who?
Cars. Greg Hawkes is the Cars keyboard player.
That's what I thought you were talking about. The Cars, not Cars the song.
No.
Oh,
Cars
Cars
the
the
songs
song. Oh, I'm
In
sorry.
Cars, yeah.
from Gary Newman.
Gary
no,
Newman.
not the Cars.
Gary
I don't know
Newman
anything
is-
about
is,
the Cars.
Oh, the Cars are great. Greg Hawk's
You
amazing.
don't know the Cars? Oh,
I know the band, but I cannot say I know their music now. I don't know.
Elliot Easton's a great
Nothing.
guitar player.
So
yeah.
there's so many great guitar players, even more coming from America.
Benjamin Orr, rest in peace. No.
So I'm 50% because computers have been sabotaging me for the past 3 weeks, to the point that last week on the last practice we had, because of sample rate and panicking, I managed basically to corrupt my hard drive and I have to wipe it off. So
So
I
I know
have to
you-
restart.
I know you installed this pickup for I thought it was for the show, but it's for this actual concert, right? You don't have the thing with the pickup already?
I have another bass pickup on a 6-string.
Okay. But you want to play the 7.
I want to downsize to 5 strings because
Okay.
my
Have a
hands
safety
are too
net for the
small.
show.
Okay.
No. I
You
want
could
to.
bring both in case one fails. You could swap, couldn't you? Or-
Yeah, the problem is I don't even have enough room in my car for the gear I'm already using. I have no space for spares. Because remember, I'm bringing the whole JV collection,
Well, now-
6
Oh,
keyboards
shit,
and
you're
the
doing
whole
that
full
too.
rack, and
oh my god.
That's right.
and no,
Doug.
6 keyboards in fly cases, the fly case with the rack units, the Jaspers standing, the 2 Rocket amplifier.
Rent a van, dude. Rent a van.
And you know you can't leave your stuff in the vehicle, right? They're going to steal all your shit. So be careful.
Yeah.
What do you mean leaving? What stuff? The
Well,
minute
you
I
have
get
to park
there, everything
somewhere and
goes
get
inside.
food or something. I know, but you have to get food or stop and get something. Or...
Seriously,
Yeah,
can
but
you rent a van?
by then, yes, I could, but I can't. No. It's an option. It's not an option.
Well,
So, and
sure-
it's not
I'm
an
sure-
option.
I'm sure the
because-
Southwest guys could help you out if you talk to them. About
No, what I mean is, it's not. I made it not an option because my bandmate has enough room for the gig gear. So I'm taking the collection. He's taking the gig gear in his car.
Okay.
But that's already 2 full cars to the brim. No room for spares.
Wow.
Plus, it's one song. Come on, how bad could it be?
Yeah, exactly. You'll find
there,
out,
done
right?
that. I will, the hard way.
oh gosh.
I don't know. I expect many. In fact, I expect
So-
many things to.
Now wait, let me ask also because it's just a 1-day event, right? It's not a 2-day thing.
Yeah,
So you're going.
and in
up
fact,
then
it's just
coming
1
back?
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 1 day. It's 10 to 5, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's it.
Okay. So you're on the road and back home before madness? Kind of?
Not really, because then they have the night gig, which I will not miss for anything.
Okay.
Because
so
Diane Wynn is
Are
playing.
you spending the night, or are you driving home? That's what I'm getting to.
No, I'm driving home. I'm hour 20 away.
Oh, you're playing during the day.
Yeah.
Right.
We're playing on the exposition, and then at night on the theater is when Ty and the
Sure, yeah,
proper
yeah.
musicians
Yeah.
do the proper music thing. And really, I cannot wait to
Oh no, that's
witness Diane Wynn performing live. It's gonna be a one-off.
Well, Ty playing at the first Sonic State Iman was cool. Remember that? That was cool.
Yeah, but that's a Neiman. That's him just making sounds with rhythm.
Oh, he did orchestral stuff. It was good.
Okay.
Oh, Ty
Yeah.
can do anything. It's
Yeah.
it's how interested he is into really putting his heart into it. And
Yeah.
I have. I want to
fact,
see
that-
bathrobe. As I said, I want to see bathrobe Ty. That's the Ty I want to show. up.
Bathrooms.
It's sort of the Ty Unwin equivalent of look now.
Post-sexing Ty.
Post-sex Ty. That's
Yeah. The afterglow.
Holy, and see that's a complete PSN inside joke,
Yeah,
right? People
exactly.
outside.
Well, he always
of
has the red light on too, like it's
and the exactly, yeah, the red. You have to have the red light.
light.
The red light and Ty, and if he could play like I'm sitting here reclined, would be even better. That would be
Oh yeah,
key step on his lap.
yeah.
Guys, for 3 reasons, and none of them is I dislike any of you. I need to cut the show short.
Oh no, I gotta
Well,
go
sure.
eat. So
It's only 4 hours this time, huh?
Hey,
we
well.
need to do better next time.
We've been
Not
eating
really.
all along. You're the one who's been front and center the whole show. So, well, it's been fun.
Somebody
man.
call it my show. What
your
is that about?
I call it Eddie's show because when I say 6 oscillators, people kind of look at me like, what?
What?
So I say Eddie. People know Eddie. So
I'm gonna, because I don't expect they will invite me to that event ever again. I'm gonna burn all my ships, and I'm gonna try to invite Gaz Williams to the show. He's gonna say no, but I'll try it.
just tell him to watch it and see if he wants to chip in.
No. If he watches it,
He
that's
could just say,
definitely
like,
he's
he
not
might say
coming.
like, "Oh, I can't stay on till 4 a.m. or whatever." But you could say, "Hey, just come
No,
on
there's
for
no
an
way.
hour or something like that, or whatever."
Sure.
if you're talking bass and technology, I'm sure he would like to show up.
He's way too more important than I am, so I don't think he.
I'm still
he
trying to
has
get
the
my
time.
friend who has
What is
the
important?
has that
The syntax.
syntax to come on, but he's a little bit shy about coming on, so we'll see.
Okay. As I said, I know nobody's watching, but for anybody who watches this on a
I got
later,
3 people watching. It was up to 6 earlier, so
yeah, but one of
get-
them is me.
You get a lot of
one is
people
me as
watching-
well. So
You get people watching on replay though, so you have an audience.
That's what I mean.
They just can't be watching you live. So
For all those people, we're gonna just wrap it up. To
you've
the
made
people
it
on the
this
screen,
far,
to the people on the
answer-
screen, and to the people outside the screen, if you would like to help us have a closing titles theme, please join the Discord. Description right there. That's the channel, and there's a channel for itself. Or just hit me a message, and we'll be more than welcome to play your music at the end of whatever you can call this. So we're gonna start one by one because that's the way I like to do things in reverse alphabetical order. So, Mr. Synthetic,
right?
take the best care.
Oh, yeah.
See you soon,
Good to see you
and let's
guys.
keep in contact.
we'll do.
See you very, very soon.
Sound of music.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Good night.
Mr. Uncle, my little uncle, my beloved Uncle Chrome, thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much for your help. Thank you so much for your presence and for your support. And
Okay, I wish you the best of luck since I won't really see you before this whole event. I will hopefully be able to catch some of it, if not live, then on some sort of replay or whatever. But
I'm gonna start looking
I think
into
this show sounds
recording.
incredible and
Oh,
jealous,
it's gonna be
jealous
awesome.
of all of it. So
Don't be jealous.
represent.
You'll have your chance, or we'll make it happen.
Gosh, well,
Thank you so
sir.
much.
Take care.
See you soon, Mr. Guitarful. And where's the doggy? Where's the doggy? Where's the
He's
doggy?
running up and down the stairs right now.
Okay. Thank you so much for all your knowledge and your contribution. Thank you for your presence. Take the best care, and let's see each other. Oops, before, well, I close now that you're here. Because we're talking, nope, wrong button. We talking 3rd of April, Friday the 3rd. We'll be back with more synth guitars and hopefully a victorious telltale of a good enough performance of HCO, Human Control Oscillators, in Synth Southwest. Thank you so much.
Sure.
See you soon.
Bye.
Take care. Guys, I said all I have to say. You know who I am. You know where I am. 6 oscillators where guitars and synthesizers collide. Take the best of care. See you very soon. Bye-bye.